How dare you?
He always does this. Just to rub it in my face. I can't even get out of this thing.
What? You got a Rancor too now?
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. Is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. He plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, "Come on, come."
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what? You wanted orange? An orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at the gas station.
Too easy.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith number 87. We're approaching those 90s, boys and girls. This is going to be fantastic. Back after taking last Saturday off. I am one of your hosts, the Fractured Filter. And of course, with me is, as always, my friend, my compatriot, my partner in all this madness, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Well, I guess we should start off the show by asking the question that everybody has wondered. Did you enjoy your time off?
Yes, I had a very nice, lovely week off. I spent a lot of it streaming Knights of the Old
I
Republic.
know. It was actually kind of refreshing and cool to see all the streaming that you've done. It kind of makes me want to get past my so I think the whole streaming thing for me is a comfort thing. Like, I'm not used to doing it by myself.
Yeah.
Like, just like I was playing with it earlier before the show. I was like, well, I'll just get on Play SoTor, and it's a comfort. Like, I have no idea. Like, you have to be the master of filibustering or have a lot of people in the chat just to, like, because I was just talking to myself and just trying. But like, seeing what you did last week, like, it was honestly pretty cool to see. Not that I've ever really been a Ghostbusters fan.
Oh,
haven't really
did you watch our Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
That's right.
So a lot of
oh yeah, that was a blast.
so.
That was a blast for sure.
But I don't know how you you did one for like 5 hours.
Yep.
I think you took a
I
break,
think that was
and
one
then
of the
you're like,
one of the Knights of the Old Republic streams, I think, too.
actually
Yeah.
literally played 5 hours, took Kathleen Kennedy to the toilet bowl, and then played for another like 2.
Yeah, I think we had to like walk the dog and stuff like that. So did that and then came back and played a little more.
But
yeah. Well, and just really quick, we got Static here in the chat already saying no Sheefster, no peace. He loves the clip of us bantering back and forth. But this is orange. This is orange. But he says, stop being gay, Hitman, just do it. And yes, that's basically what it breaks down to, is you just have to start streaming in general. You just have to break down and just start going for it. And like it is, yeah, you just kind of you play off of what you're doing in the game, what you see, and then like whatever you've seen already, like throughout the week, just kind of talk about random ass stuff. And then if people come in, you start saying hi, just start going, hey, how's it going? All that sort of stuff. And to see where it goes. And then if people start conversing, cool. If not, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get too distracted by that, and just go. But I understand what you mean, though. It's like kind of like, but for me, like, gaming is is an easier thing to do because you have the game to interact with, and that right there gets the reactions and stuff like that.
So let's see here. Well, since we're kind of going off streaming, and I was gonna bring this up. Let's see if I can do.
All right, you grab that, and I'll say Nerdy Neo, aka Broba Fett, saying, "What up, Filter, Static, and Hitman? How's it going, Nerdy?" I had a fun conversation with him. We just talked pure gaming. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and look forward to the next time. And anybody that's wanting to bounce over to his channel when you get a chance and give him a sub and check out that stream and his other streams. Good stuff, good time. But yeah,
let's 100. See. All right, I don't know. Tell me if this is gonna share or not.
Yeah.
So I was typing in Outcast, and I found this bundle here.
Yeah,
that has all.
Oh,
we don't care about Lego Star Wars, but and some of these games I don't think we've ever talked about.
Not all of them, no.
So a whopping 225 doll hairs for I don't know how many games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was just kind of I was just blown away because, like, there's Dark Forces, what we've talked about. Then there's Dark Forces 2, but then Mysteries of the Sith.
Yes, I played through that.
You've played okay.
Yeah, so I've gone through Dark Forces. I've gone through Dark Forces 2, Mysteries of the Sith, of course, Outcast and Academy.
Empire at War?
I've played Empire at War. That's a strategy game. It's fun.
Okay. Hold on. X-Wing? We reviewed?
X-Wing, I have the total conversion mod that turns the
X. Did we review that? Or was that TIE Fighter that he
it was the no. Oh, so it was the X-Wing Alliance that you use that as the base game. There's a whole mod plus a total conversion that turns it into the TIE Fighter game.
I see.
Yeah.
I saw
But yeah,
this one.
X-Wing Alliance down there. It's like a whole HD mod and everything.
I was just like kind of outsounded at whatever the word I'm trying to
Sounded
find.
by
Like, yeah.
it.
Just buy all these games. Like a lot of these, I mean, these are like old computer games that like I think I grew up playing with my uncle, like on his like laptop. And when I say a laptop, it wasn't something that fit in your lap, by the way. It was like half the
Yeah,
car.
the old honking ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
I have a lot of those games too.
all right, well, you're no fun then.
Why am I no fun? I just like
Because you
no,
have
yeah,
them.
I do
Because you
have
have
them.
them all. So I was saying, like, if I obviously, I mean, it's a pretty penny. They have another bundle that's like half those, but I was like, man, if I just put it on the old credit card, I mean, we'd be busy for the next
Oh yeah,
probably
100%.
2 years.
Like it is like I've gone through some of those already. I'm going through Knights of the Old Republic and
Like
everything.
the Rebellion game looks really cool. Like it looks simplistic, but it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I have that game on GOG, so I could always share it with you too.
Yeah.
Get you the download file for it. That's the
And
brilliance of GOG.
when you were doing KOTOR yesterday, you were on Tatooine and your pod race, and it made me think of the pod racer game for whatever reason, the old pod racer game. The Rebel Assault 2, I'm not familiar with Rebel Assault 2, 1 and 2.
Rebel Assault, I'm not super familiar either. Well, Static was saying, "Don't skip the Lego Star Wars." Nerdy Neo saying, "What was a blast! Come talk games with me. Happy to have anyone on. So if anyone is interested, get in touch with them."
So a lot of these old, they were not released back in 2000. These games were back in the 90s. I felt like.
Oh yeah. And like
So they were
Nerdy Neo says,
remastered.
yeah, Nerdy Neo says TIE Fighter was awesome. I think it was originally on floppy. I think it was.
Floppy,
If not, it did hit CD. And Rebel Assault were on rail. They're on rail shooters. Okay.
I mean, yeah, because you look at I just look at like Mysteries of the Sith. Just the kind of graphics are obviously remind me of floppy.
The old days, yes. But no, I mean, Mysteries of the Sith, I liked. I got through that. It was tough as nails towards the end because fighting evil Mara was a pain in the neck. But
yeah,
it's a fun game, and it's kind of interesting too to find out how Dromund Kaas was a planet well before even like Star Wars: The Old Republic came along, which was kind of a mind blast to me. I was like, oh wow, I had no idea that Dromund Kaas was a planet thought of so early on.
I'll probably do this bundle where it's the 5 games. It's Dark Forces, and then Dark Forces 2, Mysteries of the Sith, and then Outcast and Academy. I mean, I already have Outcast Academy, but I don't have them on PC. So I might just that bundle's only $26. Plus, $200 less than, well, I don't know, but like, yeah. So because I've never played Dark Forces,
good pack. Well, yeah, and you might want to wait though too, because Night Dive is gonna be doing their release of Dark Forces with it's gonna be and I think we talked about it on here. It's gonna be like an HD update and stuff like that. Remaster, yeah, it's a remaster, so you may want to hold out for that.
I just thought it was cool to actually, and then just to see, like we talked about, like how, the gaming industry is, like there's so much hype around like this new Assassin's Creed. This must be like their 77th game that they've made. I mean, my goodness,
it feels that way.
I'm not even joking, man. Like I go on to like, so obviously Xbox guy, so I don't have the Game Pass, but you can go on there and see, all the games that you can buy and whatnot. And literally, you think of every genre that you could possibly think of. I mean, my goodness, I did play Black Flag, and I do enjoy Black Flag because I do I like pirate movies. I like that kind of feel.
Well, Black Flag, was great for the pirate aesthetic, and then the ship combat and everything. Yes. And then it was good to use the Assassin's Creed like melee combat and everything. But when you started doing the actual Assassin's Creed missions, the game got bogged down. And it's just like, oh, just get me through this stupid tailing mission or whatever the heck it is I'm doing.
To your point, I really enjoyed the and then like you could steer the ship, which I thought was amazing. So like that, but that was that's probably the only, well, that is the only Assassin's Creed game I've ever played was Black Flag, and I solely bought it because, like I said, pirates. But and then there's Spider-Man 2, and now Spider-Man 2 is given Starfield a run for its money in regards to just people coming out and just in total defense of the idiocracy of just the storyline and the agenda it's pushing. Like
that game has brought on some of its own attention for sure.
Well, that's why I was jokingly asked. I was like, "Thank you for not playing this game." Not that I don't, obviously I know that you never would play it, but like it's just
Spider-Man 2.
Starfield. Because I heard
Either
somewhere
or.
that like Peter Parker's gay or bi or something like that. I'm like, that's not like.
I don't think they did that, but they've done a bunch of other stupid.
Or was
stuff
I
in the
don't?
game.
Well, maybe not. But there was something. There was some type of like in the game, because I remember reading an article about it. It was like he may have not been, but like I don't know.
That might have been.
But then there was something that like he's supposed to have a family.
Oh no, that's the comic. That's the ultimate. They're reviving the Ultimate Verse. It seems.
I put it in.
I do have that. I do have that as a topic. Yeah, it's interesting to say.
Like everything's come full circle. But you know what's so stupid is now that we're not it's like these stupid comes out in waves. So it's like when we're reviewing a show, there's not as much stupid as there is if we are not reviewing
sometimes.
a show.
Yeah, that's true.
So now that we're done with dyslexic Ahsoka, now all this stupidity, you brought it up. I thought it was just a wonderful. I just sometimes I get just things just off the cuff in the head, and I forget who was it. Static that was saying you're fighting like you fought better or worse than what was it? No, it was Bradley. Duke Devil was saying something on your yesterday's stream. Something about how you were fighting.
Oh, it was about the lightsaber combat.
Yes, and he was like, and then you're like, it looks like something we just recently watched, and then it was like dyslexic Ahsoka.
Yep.
But no, it's just the amount of stupid that which is great because it's like now South Park is in the mix, like they're throwing shots. And I'm surprised they, and it's only taken them, how many 32? I mean, Simpsons.
Yeah, and I get what they do and stuff like that. I'm just like, sometimes it'd be good to actually hit a little harder, but
than what they did.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, like Favreau's over here enjoying it, but like somebody made the comments like, "You're equally just like."
You're part of that camp, dude. You're
part of the shot. Yeah, you've taken some of the shot too, even though I truly.
I mean, hey, at least he has a good sense of humor about it, I guess. I mean, if that's the
I
case.
feel like once Filoni got promoted, I think Favreau was just mad, or he maybe not mad, but I think he was just done.
Because I look at it on the wall.
Well, I thought it would be an interesting thing to kind of like ask and talk about has Favreau been with Marvel longer than Filoni? We know that Filoni was obviously Lucas's
Filoni was
student.
So 2008 was when Filoni came in. 2007 2008 for the Clone Wars stuff for the for that animated show. So that was where so Filoni's been with Lucasfilm for that long. Favreau, I don't know, like probably a little bit after when did Iron Man come out? It was in the early 2000s. Something like that. Not? I believe so.
So they both equally. We'll look.
But remember, it wasn't until like a bit later that it got shifted over completely to like Disney, Marvel, and stuff like that. So
I just look at it like, what is Filoni's title other than like?
He's the head of creative, basically.
For Lucas.
For the Lucasfilm side, yeah.
Right. So, like, if Favreau, I just want to look up and see when because he did a lot of directing.
Nerdy Neo said Kyle Katarn Star Wars games are the best Star Wars games, 100%, dude. And I swear I don't mean any bias by it.
Yes, you
Black
do.
Flag is probably the only Assassin's Creed game that I never finished solely because I was harpooning everything I could in the game. Yeah, I played a lot of Black Flag, but I didn't complete it either. And the whole like, oh, such a revelation. The chick LARPing as a dude is actually a chick. I'm so shocked. I was like, I don't see how this is some kind of reveal. But yeah, I just kind of got sidetracked by everything and then just kind of stopped playing. Hoodwink says 2008. Is that for Filoni or Favreau? But
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't matter, but it's just interesting because if they both have, I mean, it's like, well, okay, one had, well, we say he has Star Wars knowledge, but like 2008 Star Wars side of things, he's now the head of creative. Favreau's been on the Marvel side. Let's say if it did,
Yeah, same here,
2008.
Neo. Oh, for Iron Man 2008. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the same amount of time. And who's done more directing? Favreau,
Live action Favreau, yeah.
right? So I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Filoni's always been a cartoon guy.
Well, he is a cartoon.
Yeah. This is also true.
There's a lot of stupid, man, which is great. But like, I kind of just want them to like cancel. I'm praying that they're just cancel Acolyte, or they'll lose funding, or something will happen, or the writer's strike will just keep going.
I don't know.
Or
I mean,
come back up. I will have to officially, yeah. Do you see? And then anybody out there that has Disney Plus, probably go ahead and cancel it because now they're raising the price to $135.99 a year.
Oh wow!
This started at $79, and this is just how asinine when people say, "Oh, well, it's inflation. That's why they're raising the prices." When Disney Plus first came out, it was on the monthly. They undercut Netflix by $2. I remember when they did this, they did $4.99 a month is before it actually released. You could get it $4.99 a month, and then your grandfather did and went to I think $6.99 a month originally, and then and then their yearly subscription was $69.99 a year, and then that jumped up to $79.99 a year, and then it went. I don't know if it went to 100 yet, but it's going to 135 a year.
Huh.
And they're pushing all this trans kid shows, if you didn't know. So
isn't that just lovely?
Yeah. You can't read
a
Christian
lot of
books
stuff
at libraries, but you can have a full-on drag show at libraries with kids.
That's right.
That's where we're at in this world.
But yeah, I know, like, I mean, it's been like some time, but like Amazon's done the same thing for their Prime yearly membership. That price has gone up. But
why? Inflation should have no effect on a streaming platform. Or am I just stupid? Would inflation have anything to?
No, I mean, like part of the electricity, part of the server maintenance and stuff like that. There's a bunch of extra.
You're more apt to answer this question than me. You're more knowledgeable on this side of the field, right? Because I could barely figure out how to turn on my get into my email. Right? Does a server maintenance really cost that much money in the grand scheme of things? And if it does it warrant jumping up from a $69.99?
Well, think of it as they get more people on the service, they do have to get more servers to help mitigate with the any overload and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, they do have to expand here and there. I mean,
that is a $76 difference in the course of 5 years.
And also they've been getting hit right and left with their funds and stuff like that. So they have to, try and get the cost back somehow.
These shysters are the very people that are charging $5.99 for a bottled water at their theme parks. Like I said, like let me ask you, does Activision, like Microsoft have it? Well, I mean, outside, I guess their games, obviously. I remember when an expensive game was $29.99. And it consistently was at $49.99. That was Xbox games being released back 10 years ago. I walk into GameStop.
They've been $59.99 for the longest time. It's only been recently that now they've jumped up to $70.
But you know what's interesting? the $79.99 games are the stupid cards, not the actual hard edition. And you would think that the hard edition, and maybe I'm wrong. I haven't bought an Xbox game, physical one, since probably
Oh,
Modern
yeah, the
Warfare.
digital and physical, yeah.
But how can a card be more expensive than the actual game? You think the game costs more to produce? Anyway, so I just say Activision's not.
Yeah,
the Activision's not like charging secret fund or the side funds for their servers. They have a massive server. Like Activision.
Well, look at it this way too. They have downloadable content, other microtransactions added to their games, and then you have the ones that we call whales that are often funding these games because they're always buying all the extra crap, all the extra cosmetics and stuff like that comes out for these games, and that helps keep some games afloat. That's why like some MMOs go free to play, and then they'll have a whole big market. Think like Star Wars: The Old Republic, and yeah, they have again what they call the whales that'll just buy up a lot of the shit and spend their money in the game for in-game currency, for in-game items, for this that. So
maybe Disney maybe they have just different accounts for different aspects of the company. I guess maybe parks is one thing. Plus is another. Like I just think as a whole though, how much money they probably make, and maybe they've taken a hit, which rightfully so, they deserve it with all the crap they're putting out and whatnot. But I just
they've been buying so much stuff too. It's insane.
Apple needs to come out and buy them out. Apple's just as bad. Apple's just as bad. I used to think Apple would be kind of the saving grace of Disney if they were to buy out Disney, and then they would own the rights to Star Wars.
Nobody's the savior of anything.
No, and then you think Amazon, but look what they did with Lord of the Rings. Atrocious.
Yep. Lord of the Rings and Wheel of Time, I think it was.
And Willow. Oh God, don't get me started on Willow, man.
So yeah, nobody has a good track record right now. The only thing I'm waiting to see is Apple and what they do with that Godzilla show.
Is that what you posted earlier this week? I saw.
Yeah, last week when you bounced out, I talked about a few other things and the Godzilla TV show that's gonna be coming out. I did check out one of the trailers.
Hopefully, it's not trash.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But everything that we love and they touch, it's the opposite of the Midas touch. Doesn't turn
one way or another, it turns to shit. But I'm hoping, I'm hoping, but expecting, but I'm hoping it won't be complete and utter shite.
Are they going to follow the original?
What, the Godzilla TV show?
Yeah,
it's still going off of what Legendary has built for the quote unquote MonsterVerse. So they're still doing that stuff. Hey there, folk Norris. Yeah, they're gonna race swap Godzilla.
He's gonna be
He's no longer gonna be Japanese. He's gonna be Chinese.
Dude, some of the greatest Godzilla movies I've watched were the old ones where they're talking for about 30 seconds before they actually say it, dubbed.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Godzilla. Great.
Those are my favorites.
I want to see. Oh, what was it? It was there. I used to watch all the old school monster movies with my uncle, but it's like the Primanus versus Godzilla. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, that was Son of Godzilla.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Son of Godzilla had the big giant mutated praying mantises. Yep. All right, shall we go into some articles now?
Pick your poison, man. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, I had a ton. But let's we'll see if this will be a positive thing.
Probably not, but go ahead.
So here we got Metal Gear Solid Delta. The Snake Eater reveals first in-game engine gameplay, or in-engine gameplay. This was over on Niche Gamer. Says publisher Konami shared the first in-engine look at gameplay within Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is, I'm guessing, like a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. It just says, here's the look at all of which Konami notes is in-engine for this gameplay. I guess they have the Japanese gameplay. I don't know if this is a different one. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is in development for Windows PC via Steam, Xbox Series XS, and PlayStation 5, but has no release date. That'll be interesting to find out when and if that comes out. And also, just who will be doing the voice of Big Boss. If old David Hayter will be coming back to do the voice, or if they will although I doubt Konami is gonna do the same thing as Kojima and bring in Kiefer Sutherland, who voiced Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5, but who knows? So I guess we could just take a look at this and see how this looks. Let me know if you can hear it or not. This is my first time taking a look at it too. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I kind of recognize some of this. Wow. Okay. Oh, geez. Really? God, I forgot some of the different environments this game had. I mean, I will say, like, graphically, okay, so it's using Unreal Engine 5. Makes sense.
I love Unreal Engine.
Oh God.
You're more into Metal Gear Solid than I am. Yay or nay?
Metal Gear Solid 3 especially is one of my all-time favorites for the franchise, and afterwards is definitely when it just went off the hill. I do worry that they're going to censor a lot of the stuff in the game that was in the original. But I mean, just kind of showing off some of this early stuff. I mean, it looks like they're keeping some of the typical gameplay that you saw already. And the environments look beautiful. But I mean, that's kind of the great thing about Unreal Engine is that it really is a very powerful developer tool.
Yeah.
But like I've said too, making games look pretty nowadays isn't always a big challenge for some. It can be done. And so, yeah, I don't, the main thing here is going to be how well is it going to play and is anything going to be changed for any of the scenes? I do have to say this did look gorgeous right here. Yeah. Showing off this.
I'm telling you, like Metal Gear Solid, or I'm sorry, Unreal Engine does a really, really good job.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, it's like I'm seeing all the. So I'm guessing that I can only guess at how they're rebuilding the game, and if they're using like the gameplay from Metal Gear Solid 5, that's not necessarily a bad thing because the gameplay was at least a good part of that game. Just unfortunately, the storyline was incomplete and complete and utter shite, which is sad because I love that. I did like aspects of that game, and each of the maps that you flew to were basically empty. But no, I mean, I didn't realize there was a frog right there. Well, like I said, I like how the environments look, and it doesn't look like they're gonna be changing up the areas, because these are all looking exactly as I remember 'em. And I'm gonna have to maybe do a gameplay playthrough of that game. Like I said, I forgot about this kind of area of the game. I just also hope that they keep the very even basic mechanics of when you would destroy like the ammunition stores or the food depots, and you did eventually you'd hear like the soldiers going, "Ah, I'm getting so hungry," or
Right.
something like that, and they'd be a little weaker, a little more easier to take down. I mean, just from this, it looks gorgeous. It's just we aren't getting a whole lot of gameplay, like
Why
actual
do you
game,
think
like
they're gonna censor it?
well,
It was Metal Gear Solid
during
3,
like
like,
during some of the scenes and stuff like that, you'd get a little bit of the gravure, kind of like down shots of Eva's breasts and stuff like that. Like, I mean, she was covered up, but like you could like basically like look down her shirt. Those sort of they're silly, but it's like, it's like why censor that? It's unnecessary. It is in the game. Leave it that way. And even Big Boss himself was kind of a horn dog. So that shit was kind of funny, but at the same time, he was very awkward about it. So it was always kind of funny with some of those scenes, but like at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if they also changed up maybe the acknowledgement of Volgin and his
Obi-Wan
uh,
has taught you well.
I'll be damned. Obi-Wan taught me well.
well.
but I I'm always worried about anytime, yes, a remaster or remake or whatever comes along for some older games, because yes, they were quote unquote made in their time, right? So there's always a possibility that from the, because what is it, the modernized for a current audience is now the term that gets thrown around for a lot of games that are old but being brought back for a new audience, so to speak. So
it'd be like them trying to redo Doom in the 21st century.
well, I mean, they basically did with what you call it, Doom and Doom Eternal. So that was
but like I'm talking about like the old school Doom that you could not play today and not say it was offensive versus trying to,
well,
what I mean?
the
Like,
main thing about the original Doom was mainly the sound. It was the soundtrack, which was using a lot of licensed music from bands and stuff. But it was changed up. But like today, it would probably hit copyright hell.
oh, absolutely, strike after. Well, yeah, I haven't
But-
strike, but
yeah, but yeah, that was both the videos. This one, like it did say, was the Japanese version, but I just kind of skimmed through it really quick. It's showing all the same scenes. I think it looks gorgeous, but I want to see more gameplay before I would say maybe go in on it, for sure, because you never know how it'll turn out. Like I said, I hope the best. I really hope that that they'll be faithful to the original game and storyline. I just always err on the side of caution. That's all. But hopefully, like I said, it looks great, and I'm hoping well for it. Static was saying,
$79.99.
oh, probably. Hey, show Hitman that thing in Unreal Engine with the car on fire. Oh, do you have that, Static? DM it to me. I'll show it to him. Red Hoodwinked. I mean, it looks great, but I hope it's more game than cutscenes. Well, Metal Gear Solid 3 was actually that good balance of both game and cutscenes. It was unfortunately Metal Gear Solid 4 that was nothing but cutscenes and very little gameplay. Like you could get a lot more out of Metal Gear Solid 3 for gameplay wise than you could with Metal Gear Solid 4. And then, like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5 had next to nothing practically for storyline. So I guess that was a good thing. You had more gameplay in that one, but it just sucked because it didn't actually go anywhere. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, how much have they released? What, like if a lot of the games will say like how much gameplay there actually is. Have they released anything like that for the new one? I was like, oh, there's 10 hours of gameplay, or there's 12 hours of gameplay, or
oh, for that one, I don't know.
Yeah,
Thanks, Static. I got it. Crimson Raptor, how's it going, man? Saying, sorry I'm late. I was busy mourning the fact that Snow White got delayed. Aw, shucks. That pesky
Did you
actor's
did you
guild.
hear? Did you get so when you were streaming? So I noticed like I was commenting on YouTube, but there was a delay from when I was commenting on YouTube to where it came on your message, your incoming message.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it normally goes, but did you hear Daily
Not
Wires?
too bad, no.
Yeah. Did you hear Daily Wires doing their rendition of Snow White?
Yes, I have.
And instead of using CGI, I think they're using real midgets.
I didn't hear that part, but good
Well,
on them
because
for
you know
hiring
Bradley was
real
talking
actors.
about like people of sand, and we got to be politically correct. So I was driving when he said that, and I was like, "We're the furthest from politically correct you could possibly get." But I was rolling when he said people of sand.
Oh God!
And then he started speaking. Do you understand
Yeah,
what
he
he
started...
called you? When he was speaking Tuscan,
my Tuscan was rough, so I couldn't quite get a grasp of it.
That's funny, man.
But here is the video that Static was mentioning. So this from Lauren Southern on X. This video was generated in Unreal Engine. It's crucial to understand what a 5th generation warfare looks like. Social engineering and misinformation is the name of the game. And these new engines and stuff are getting a lot rather crazy now. So here we go.
Bro, that's Unreal Engine?
Yep. Apparently. If anything, maybe the car is something that's inserted into the environment. Unless all of this is, that's the question though. What's real and what's fake anymore? But like you see, like you got the tool here that's also helping push the flames around and giving it direction. But yeah. So
watch out.
Yep. You got to be ever more critical than anything with new stuff being presented. Question everything. But yeah, crazy stuff with the Unreal Engine for sure. Yeah, smoke certainly. Like I said, a lot of it was, I don't know. I imagine the car and stuff, but then I mean that's just like the thing with some of these tools nowadays, with the way with AI integration with even things like DaVinci and Photoshop and Adobe Premiere. It's helping for a lot of. It's helping for a lot of like editing and for really trying to bring more out of whatever you're trying to accomplish. But I mean, it's getting it's getting really terrifying for sure. But yeah, and both I mean it's I mean, I wish more than anything, at least for gaming wise, that people would instead of going so much for realism. I mean, you can use that for certain games for sure, but I just wish more people would go for a different artistic style, something to really set your game apart, and also to give it more of a shelf life. Because let's face it, technology is always pushing forward one way or another. That's the whole progression of everything, right? It's always progressing, always moving forward, always changing, evolving, yada 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 yada. And you look at games that were considered, realistic back on the, even the Xbox One or PS3 and or even the PS2. It's like some of those games has drastically aged.
It's crazy.
What's that?
I just mean to get you off. It's like you talk about progression. So it's like back when I was in, oh gosh, was I in grade school when Halo came out? I remember just as we go through games, I remember it's like, Halo, this is the most realistic game ever. Oh my god, look at that! Right. It looks like you go outside and see it, and those aliens, if they, and so it's interesting you bring it up because each game, it's like, oh yeah, man, that's like to the time in which the game came out, it's like, yeah, that's the realest thing ever. But now it's like seeing that's just. I wonder if the government will get a hold of it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I wonder if the government will one owns Unreal Engine or two will try to grab that technology and
yeah, I mean, it's like
try
basically
to-
they just had to buy the licensing, and anybody can use it. So
BlackRock will buy it, or these top 3 major companies that own.
yeah, maybe technology isn't a power we should own. And Static said, some might argue technology is the only thing that has gotten better over time. Right.
But you know what? Here's the thing. This is the point I'm going to. How is it that Unreal Engine, and I understand that this is for the Unreal Engine and Blender, it's all for gaming, right? But again,
I mean, it's like it's gaming, but there's also a whole bunch of
So let me ask you
applications
this.
for this stuff, artwork in general,
Let me ask you this.
movies,
Riddle me
TV
this,
shows.
Batman.
Okay, sorry, go.
Riddle me this, Batman. We just saw what we just saw, which was looked very, very realistic in some aspects. Why does Filoni still suck? Why is Star Wars so bad? This is what I mean. There's no excuse for this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you.
My argument will always go back to the fact that how is Attack of the Clones have better CGI and better graphics and better choreography and fighting, and this came out over 20 years ago. We see Ahsoka, we see Rosaria Dawson fighting a almost 50-year-old Hayden Christensen, and the 50-year-old has to slow down for the 30-year-old.
Well, no, Rosario and him, they're like close to the same age.
What? No, he's older. No,
they're about the same age. They're both in their 40s.
Mentally, or physically.
But
No, you silly. You a bad boy. No,
hang on. Let me get.
Bro, look at Hayden Christensen is so old. Even the de-aging technology couldn't. The aging technology.
Well, that was just horrible. De-aging.
No, there's no way.
But yeah, Hayden Christensen is 42. And Rosario Dawson is 44. So she's older than him. Older than him by 2 years.
That's the excuse. That's why he had to slow down, because she's old. By 2 years.
All right, he already changes gears on that one.
I didn't know. I thought Hayden was old. Oh, I thought he was older, man. I thought he was like pushing 50, and she was like in her 30s, man. My goodness.
Nope.
Makeup hides well. Her leku, you couldn't tell how old she was based off her lekus, which also were just atrociously bad.
Right. Crimson Raptor says the government already uses it for Biden in his fake Oval Office.
Sure, absolutely.
And yeah, Rosario is older, actually. Yep. That's why he had to slow down.
But again,
well, that and Hayden actually did all the training back in the day. So for him, it was basically muscle memory coming right back. Oh, actually, Eckstein's 42. So, I mean, I still think they should have just gotten her ass into shape and brought her in and be like, okay, you're
That's the thing. That's the thing. You like in Wookiee, like I love Wookiee to death. Outside the fact that he just he puts pineapple on pizza, which is just the most foreign, asinine thing you can think of. I envision him probably getting a large pizza from Domino's with pineapple and barbecue sauce. Just gonna throw up on the show. Can you imagine eating barbecue pizza with pineapple or pizza with barbecue sauce?
I assume you had a point
pineapple?
there, though, besides the pineapple pizza being gross.
All of it?
I'm just curious. Or were you just going in on the pizza thing?
Oh, no. Well, I was just, because he was saying, no, I was going somewhere with it, but he was saying, oh, well, she's old and out of shape. I'm like, look at these Hollywood actors, like, who get into shape overnight. Like, what's the Hemsworth guy? Like, he was probably already pretty much a good
Steroids
shape, like,
are an actor's best friend.
well, not even steroids, dude. Like, what's the dude, the Star-Lord guy? Chris, what's his name? Star-Lord.
No, I know. I don't want to say Pine, because I think that was the
Chris
Star
Pratt.
Trek guy.
Chris Pratt.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. He did a video of where like he had like He was trying to lose weight for Guardians, and he had a he woke up at like 3 a.m. and did a video. He's like, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna eat my snack for the day at 3 o'clock, and I'm supposed to have this at 4 p.m. But I just can't wait. And he's eating like little pine nuts off this little cake that is so you could get into shape. Like all the so
Well, they have that's like the dedicated time that they get to put into that 100%. So yeah, they I mean,
But
yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
she's
Eckstein
too-
could have done it. Yeah.
she's too busy doing all these Comic Cons and making her money off that, which like fine, do it. But like you could have done it. But again, I don't think Disney would have done it. I really don't. I think they will forever think it's just disrespect. I think I will forever take it as just a little bit of disrespect. Now it's a business, whatever. Now you have to justify your business decision. But she, like I said, I go back to like you did it for 8 years. Well, she wouldn't fit the role. How is she not fit the role? She did it for 8 years. The voice acting, right? Well, she was out of shape. Okay, everybody under the sun is out of shape. Come up with something better than well, she's white and Ahsoka was purple or blue, whatever. Ask Filoni what color she is. He'll know best. So
She was orange, yes.
Was she orange?
Ahsoka? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Ahsoka's orange.
No.
We
She's
just
blue.
watched the series.
She's blue. In Clone Wars? Nah, she's blue. 100% blue.
Oh, for God's sakes.
She's blue with orange stripes or something like that. 100%. Or is that Syndulla?
You really
I'm thinking of? Who is it? Who am I thinking of? It's always blue. You're crazy. You crazy, man. She blue. What movie? You crazy, man. I love you, but you're crazy. What movie? If you don't get this.
That's her in the Clone Wars.
That's brown. That's not
Oh,
orange.
God.
You racist.
Yes, but in this instance, she is orange.
Where's Bradley? That's politically not correct. That's brown, not orange.
He is out there, man, in the
He's
east.
out there. I thought she was blue.
Where did you get that?
I don't know. I thought she was blue.
After we just spent however much time watching Ahsoka, the series.
I'm trying to block it out, man. Just block this out.
I was gonna say, like
she-
blue,
why
like
she
yes,
blue?
there was. I forgot the character's name, but there was a blue character.
What's the Jedi that was blue? They got like smoked on Felucia.
Oh, Aliyah Sakura.
Yeah, maybe that's her cousin that got smoked. I thought she was blue. I'm over here. Man, don't listen to me. Listen to
Ayla Sakura is blue, yes.
everybody in the chat. Don't listen to Hitman anymore. I'm drunk off lack of sleep, I guess.
Hitman is in a totally other world right now.
I'm still gonna say she's blue. That's you better clip that and put that clip it. She's blue. Clip the two. Okay, if anybody takes anything from this show, the two clips you need to do are that right there, and then the conversation about what we just had. Oh my goodness, I'm in a daze right now. Anakin or Hayden being 50 years old and
right.
Gamora lady.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Good night. See, this is what happens when we're off for a week. I think she was. That's good. You need to clip that and send that to me promptly, or I gotta figure out how to clip it. Because you're like she's not blue. I was like, yes, she is. Absolutely.
You were damn sure that she.
Bro, I was about to bet my paycheck she was.
You're
blue.
about ready to fight me over it. Like, no, she's
Absolutely.
blue. Damn it. Oh my God.
I'll make sure that's not. Was that Unreal Engine picture? I'm looking this up. Hold on. Don't trust me.
Oh, you don't trust me now. You don't trust me to be honest with you.
That could be Unreal Engine.
How dare you? I'm insulted. How dare you?
I'd be Bob's your uncle.
I'm an upstanding individual that tells you the truth, and here you are calling me a liar. I'm
Bob's
hurt.
your uncle.
I'm
You
hurt.
said she was orange. She's brown.
Oh
She's
For
like
God's
a clay brown. She's the color brown after. Well, I'm not gonna go there.
Static Nash. She's the same race as Trump. Just list out all the colors at this point, Hitman.
Oh,
Never do. It's cool. Oh my god.
well, technically, I wasn't wrong. She is somewhat blue. Her Leku's blue,
Oh god.
so I was correct from a certain point of view. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
God damn you, Kenobi. With that damn phrasing of yours.
Yeah, she is blue. Look at this. Did you ever tell me she's orange? She's more blue than she is orange. Look at that. Look at her from Rebels, dude. Her Leku grew like exponentially. She got
that's
more blue
that's been the funny thing. Like her Leku did grow longer, and then they didn't even address it.
She's like Mega Boss Karen level 10. Have you seen like the different like Karens that have like anybody who any female that complains in retail, they will typically say is a Karen, and they always have just this outrageous hair. And I saw this meme. It was like Mega Boss level 10 Karen complaining, and it was like her hair looked like an Oompa Loompa magnified by 12 to the side. Yeah, so I guess I was like 50% correct. We'll call it.
I don't think it was 50%. I'm sorry.
I think so.
I'm sorry.
Look it up.
It could be unrealistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pull
if you look close enough, you'll see whatever it is you're looking for. Exactly, Crimson.
Pull a picture of her up on Rebels, and what she's covered completely with blue, and there's a little bit of orange.
Bring it up. If you've got it, bring it up. You have controls to do it.
I'm not technologically savvy. Let's see. Ahsoka. Let's see. Oh, we want to do that. We don't want to do that. Let's go here. Rebels. Give me a picture. Not Gandalf the White.
Oh, no, not Gandalf the White.
Oh, yeah, bruh. Oh, yeah. What are we betting?
You could say she's white from Hitman's logic now.
Bruh. All right, hold on.
Why are we having this debate? LOL, you're wrong, Hitman, says Crimson Raptor.
Well, that's just rude. Bro, look at this.
Where's the blue? Where are you talking about?
Blue? What do you mean? Blue, white, blue.
Oh, those are like dark clothing, like dark gray clothing.
Doesn't matter. They're blue.
Oh, for God's sakes.
All right, this is a better one. Let's see here. Does it come up here? Ah. No, that's not one. I will find a better picture and silence all my haters. She's blue. Oh, bro. I found it. Are you ready? I was actually right. You're wrong. Stand by. Blue.
Hang on. All right, hang on. Hang on. Oh, for God's sakes, that's a Funko Pop.
She's blue. I told
that's
you.
That's a Funko Pop. That doesn't count.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to look for a clip. Where's this clip? God dang it. Where is it? Oh. I got the perfect, what's it? We're done with that.
She's blue.
Oh, we're counting her clothes. Close our second skin. Okay. Just take the L, man. It's okay.
I didn't lose. She's blue.
All right, on to some other stupidity in the gaming industry.
Spider-Man?
We'll get there. No, this is Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 Halloween Fatality cost $10, and the community is actually pushing back. Good for you, bunch of spurgs out there. Because Mortal Kombat 1, the storyline at least, was a shit show. I only watched it. I didn't buy it, but I watched it and it looked like crap. Earlier this week, Mortal Kombat 1's community was incensed after publisher Warner Bros. Games revealed that it will sell a seasonal fatality for real world money. Now, you see, seasonal items and stuff like that should just be kind of like that. Here you go. Nice little free item for ushering in the seasonal time of year or whatever. Not, hey, give us $10 for a fatality, especially that does not change between character to character. Now this fatality is available in the shop with a confirmed price, and players are up in arms once again, with many vowing to boycott the fatality and some abandoning the game entirely because of its cost. And they'll be back. They got, oftentimes gamers especially have the memories of Goldfish. It won't take them long to go back. Today, the Halloween Fatality was added to MK1's premium shop for the price of 1,200 Dragon Crystals, 1,250 of which can be bought in a bundle for $10. The move came after players noticed the patch notes vaguely mentioned a quote-unquote Halloween Fatality added to the premium store, which was later confirmed by Warner Bros. You can watch the fatality below, which involves slapping a jack-o'-lantern over your opponent's head before creepy crawlers emerge, which is basically referencing Halloween 3, Season of the Witches, which thank God it didn't have the overly obnoxious tune, but at the same time, that actually could have been really a fun nod if they had included that in with the fatality. Instead, they didn't, but I'll show that after I get through this article. Players have expressed shock at the fatality's $10 price tag, especially because it's added on the game's $70 cost, or $110 for players who bought the premium edition. Suckers. Many community members are now criticizing the move as an indication that MK1 is shifting towards a freemium model despite not being free. Quote, are you having a laugh? Can I get a refund for this full price freemium model game? From a Reddit user. From Reddit user Barnsley Lad posted. We got some tweets here, I think. Yeah. Ain't no way the Halloween fatality is 1,200 crystals, man. Ain't no way. They did it. 1,200 crystals is a bit too much for a fatality. In response, players have begun taking to X/Twitter and Reddit to encourage others to boycott the fatality's price, saying, "Do not buy that season fatality." Reddit user Broketh Reaper made them realize they shouldn't charge us for it. 1,200 crystals is ridiculous. Another quote, "Don't buy that thing." Reddit user Seb Hamelin commented, let's show him this makes absolutely no effing sense. Even after the players' complaint about aggressive monetization, it looks like MK1's DLC is on its way, with developers hinting at possibility of DLC. Still, since its release last month, players have had fun discovering everything from impressive 89 hit combo to a strange one-player advantage. We gave MK1 an 8 in our review. That was hot. That was probably a little higher than it should. Praising its quality of life changes and single-player story mode, which sucked, but docking points for its online play and invasion mode. So yeah, let me get this. Yes.
Finish him. Johnny Cage wins.
I mean, like I said, it would have been a lot better if they actually if they slaps the pumpkin head on the opponent, and then maybe the TV slaps down in front of them and plays the little commercial, the Shamrock commercial from Halloween 3, and then activates all the critters. Because I mean, that's basically what they're referencing here. Let's.
This is just, I don't understand it. Just paying for fake. I guess I can't be mad because they do the same thing in Modern Warfare, but it's like this is just the gaming industry.
Yeah,
and a pumpkin, like you're paying for a pumpkin.
I mean, more or less. And then like it is they
just took this off of something off of the Mummy. It's supposed to be like
no. This is I'm pretty sure at least the 1,200 crystals for that, says Red Hoodwink. But no, I think I'm pretty sure it's a reference to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, that the one without Michael Myers. Is that because like it is? They slap the jack-o'-lantern on their head, and all the bugs and stuff start crawling out, which is basically what happened in the movie when towards the end, once they played the Shamrock commercial, and it activated with the little evil patch on it, thanks to Stonehenge. But yeah, that is not worth that. I mean, like I said, if it had more to it and was definitely maybe $1 or something, or just like a free, hey, for the season and for the people that bought this game, here you go. You get to have this neat little fatality for all the characters or whatever. But it's pretty, I mean, at the end of it, it's just kind of low tier. They could have done more for it, but they didn't. And that's and they're charging you $10 for that, folks.
May I say, or can I be bold enough to say, is some of the finishing moves from the old Nintendo 64 Mortal
Kombat 4
were much more enjoyable than.
Well, you know,
if
you
I
can only keep creating new fatalities and be so creative with them for so long.
You don't need to be like Scorpion's like, get over here, like. That's iconic. You don't need to do anything other than that. Or Sub-Zero. Like you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just old school and I'm just in my ways.
You're set in your ways, old man.
No, but like
$10 just for that. Just for
what
that
better move could you come up with than Scorpion's, where he's got his, I don't know.
His mask off, has the skull, and sets him on
and
fire. I mean, it's pretty classic right there.
Yeah. I mean, I got so excited when I, growing up playing, and I could, hit all the, the buttons right, and then like get the little metal thing coming out of the hand, and like get over here, and then I was more of a Sub-Zero fan, obviously myself. So, or no, like there was one that goes Raptor. What was his?
Reptile,
the one that was in the green.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunately what is becoming of the game industry. My constant lament about it. They are certainly trying to nickel and dime people every chance they get. It's sad.
But that's
$10.
That's
$10 for that.
$10.
$10 for that.
That's not even like cool.
No, like I said, if it had more to it, it could have been kind of interesting. But that's all it is. Slap a pumpkin, kick their head off. That's all she wrote, folks. I mean, you could have fun with it. I mean, Jesus, if it's supposed to be like a Halloween style fatality, have some fun with it. More than just slapping a jack-o'-lantern on their head and kicking their head off. Come on. There's so much you could have done with that. But yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what they're referencing is Halloween 3. You're sold, Raptor. How dare you? Fook Nor thing. I love that movie. I got to watch that movie with Melee Games. They were doing a movie night, and I hung out with some of them, and we were watching it. We were basically like MSTing it, the whole riff tracksing it or whatever, kind of making fun and poking fun at the movie the whole time. It was that alone was enjoyable. But weirdly, yeah, that movie isn't bad. It's kind of an interesting idea to go into like an anthology sort of thing for Halloween. I mean, all the different stories that you could conjure up for this time of the year, you could have had some fun. But I mean, hey, Michael Myers was already at the face. I get it, but at the same time, you could have tried something different. But it was goofy as hell and fun. It was a fun time. Static thing, you're paying.
You want new movie? Oh, so good.
You're paying for ones and zeros. I blame kids and their dipshit parents for this crap. Yeah, true enough. Hey, Bradley, how's it going, man? I know how to improve fatalities. Put a chick in it and make it lame and get. Oh, God damn it! Thank you, Kathleen
Bradley,
Kennedy.
we need to be politically correct.
Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. Folk Norris. Oh, it's cheesy. I wish we had more lore. Yeah. Lordy Lord. Okay. What else? I mean, God, we got so many. Like, you know, for your tomfoolery. Well, this is actually, I don't. Hang on. I know I had something different. Are you a big Superboy fan?
Mm-mm.
Okay, never mind then.
We can go over it.
Bring up that article. But we do have this one. I thought it was kind of interesting to hear about. But Chuck Dixon reveals the plot to a Batman story DC refused to publish because it wasn't diverse enough. Yeah.
Probably.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're trying to make sure and keep their ESG score and stuff like that high. So it might come across as strange or impossible when you look at the landscape of comics today, but there was a time when the big publishers had standards. Whether the editors did possess them deep down in their hearts or not, they tried to convey the image of standards and taste. Therefore, there were stories they wouldn't publish. Great artwork there. Okay, so that's some Graham Nolan work. These stories,
back when comics were good,
right? These stories weren't always by controversial writers like Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, or Todd McFarlane either. Sometimes a veteran Batman writer like Chuck Dixon didn't catch a break when penning something he initially thought would hit shelves and racks around the country. One Batman story he did was approved but ultimately dumped not too long after. Fans submitted questions for Dixon's popular Ask Chuck YouTube series have frequently asked him about the tale. Lately, the topic is coming up more than usual, and as such, Dixon devoted time to episode number 156 to explain what happened. It all started after he watched the movie New Jack City, which inspired him to conceive a story similar to The Raid. Dixon thought, quote, what if Batman had to infiltrate a housing project that was turned into a fortress by a drug kingpin who took it over? The story he wrote was called The Keep, was going to be drawn by Moon Knight artist Gary Kwapis. That's a hard one. I apologize for butchering it, but and was greenlit by Archie Goodwin for an issue of Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. Plot consisted of Batman following leads on a murder. Dixon explained that brings him to the project fortified by a gang to protect themselves from rivals and the police. When he gets into a fight with several gang members, the Caped Crusader is shot, which makes his mission more complicated. Bleeding and trapped in a maze, there's almost no way out. I could always make for some good drama and shit like that. Fortunately, he knocks on a door and is given safe haven by a boy who's home by himself since his mother works night shifts as a nurse. This gives Batman time to heal and reach his objective. The story was intended as a real-world scenario where Batman was the only white character, and everyone else, especially the criminals, were black. There was the problem right there. The problem came, quote, the problem came that Gary and I wanted to present this as it might have really happened in the real world, Dixon explained. And what that meant is that Batman is the only white character in the story. Every other character in the story, good guys and bad, are African American, because Gary and I felt that's simply the way it would be in Gotham. Yeah, but you can't portray them in a negative light, especially when the main hero is the white guy. He elaborated, quote, Gary is from Detroit, I'm from Philadelphia, and you don't really have a whole lot of diversity in those low-income housing project buildings. There's generally one minority or another dominating the entire building, so that's the way we presented it. That's a part of DC editorial had a problem with. Though Dixon and Quapez understood there wasn't a lot of diversity in the inner cities of Detroit and Philadelphia. For example, Archie Goodwin was apprehensive about showing the keep to higher ups in the chain of command. Dixon and Quapez, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, were paid for their work, but Goodwin never presented it to his superiors. Well, ain't that something? Okay, so this is from part 1, Heart of Glass. I mean, some of this, just seeing some of this artwork looks great too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, more Graham Nolan. Okay. But yeah, Dixon does not have the script for the story anymore, but even if he did, he doesn't think it would be published. If we were to present the story today, we would probably have been pounded down the street by a mob, the veteran Batman writer explained. So I guess thoughts, feelings, and stuff like that. Do you think that could have been a good little Batman story?
Oh, absolutely. I think I would
kind of breaking him down to that level and like having him.
This is the problem, and I've recently have just not cut ties with the well.
I still starting to open his eyes more to
it. I've not cut ties with comics, but it's like I can see, and Marvel's equally.
Oh yeah, they're both they both probably equally guilty of pushing a lot and killing a lot of this shit.
It's just like I said, man. Like there are a lot of things that DC does that I don't agree with. There's a lot of comics out there that I don't agree with. There's a lot of stances that they take that I don't agree with. That means I don't hate people that, you know, they do stories and with people that live a certain lifestyle that I believe is not right. I believe it's a sin. So like, and that's where we're going.
That's your right to feel that way,
for sure. And it means I don't hate the individual. I don't agree with their lifestyle.
Yeah, I get it.
This is DC, man. Every single character is now gay. I'll just be bluntly, every single character recently,
basically
is gay. Every single character is now bi. Every single character, and it's just that's. I'm not even joking. There's a current run. It's I think Superboy or the son of
that was the one I was potentially going to bring up.
Bring it up. His son is like he's in a relationship with Dick.
Oh no, sorry, this is a different thing. But yeah. Go ahead, okay. Keep going. Yeah.
So Clark Kent's son is in a relationship with Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and it's like,
wait, it's gone on to Dick Grayson now? I thought it was like his Clark's son was like in a relationship with some pink-haired twink boy that was basically invulnerable, and that was how they also made it so that they could do stuff.
I could be wrong. I thought I saw the cover where they were Clark Kent's son.
I mean, that would surprise me at some
time. I thought so. I could be wrong.
Really creepy. It would get even creepier too, considering the age difference there.
I could be wrong, but I thought I saw one of them. But I mean, it is the point. Still, is that like that's just where they're going, and it's like this is the issue that I have with this. Right, is now you're writing these stories, and from what age range when do kids start reading comics? Right. So the point I'm trying to make here is you're writing these stories, the kids are reading them, and they're gonna think that's okay.
Right.
So you're trying to indoctrinate these kids with your ideologies and your beliefs. and it's wrong and it's sick, and you should be held accountable because you're corrupting children. Like this is, we can go like I can give my thoughts on this, but it's gonna bleed into kind of like my faith and everything, and it's wrong. And you're taking advantage of kids who don't know. They're gonna read this and be like, well, like, can you imagine like if you had a kid and you raised him right, and then he got a hold of one of these comic books at school and read it, and then came home and started asking you questions, like you'd probably be furious. You'd be like, where did you hear this from? And like, where did this come from? Like,
well, and especially when there are certain topics that only children, only the parents should be talking to the children about.
For sure. But like, so I guess my thoughts on this article is I think that like, when I first heard about Eric July and everything, I was like, oh, this dude's just trying to do his own thing and make it money going against DC and Marvel and whatnot. And I was against Eric July. I thought it was like I wasn't particularly for him, and because I was been a DC guy my whole life.
I'd say you were probably skeptical more than anything.
Oh, for sure, 100% skeptical because I've been a DC guy.
And I get that because it's independent comics, and some have not always had the best reputation.
I'll tell you,
not all of them get fulfilled, and not all of them get completed. No. So I understood where you were coming from when I know you were definitely apprehensive about the project when I was first bringing it up and everything.
But I will say this, that up until probably comics in the 90s were pretty good. Like I think up until recently, within the last probably the how long? Probably within the 5 to 7 years, maybe. Well, last 5 years for sure. It's just gone to this whole has it been 5? I don't know. How long do you think when do you think they really started pushing the whole ESG and the diversity?
I mean, I would say it's always been in media for a long time.
Comics,
but, I mean, if you want, I'd say it's still been in there a lot. It's just, I would say the stronger push did come along probably
5 years ago. I'm gonna say
like
5.
more mask off sort of situation where it's called this is exactly what we're doing.
Like I'm not talking about innuendos. I'm talking about like straight up like we're just gonna rip the Band-Aid off and just put it in your face type stuff.
Right.
Put in like Poison Ivy being in a sexual relationship with Harley Quinn type comic, which is absolutely a thing, by the way.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing all about that.
Yeah, it's actually the current Poison. Well, I don't know if it's current, but there's a Poison Ivy run where she wanted. But even in one of my the comics I really enjoyed, it was done by, and I'm going to say this guy right, is Tom Taylor, but Tom Taylor has done a lot of liberal stuff too, right? But Tom Taylor did it was Unkillables, and it was the Deceased was his run, and it was basically kind of an apocalyptic style comic. It was from you should look it up. It's called DC's, but Tom Taylor wrote it, and throughout this comic, Poison Ivy, there's a virus that starts with what is it? Oh my goodness, it has to do with Dark Side and the equation, and I can't, it's slipping my mind, but so there's a virus that turns around, basically just turns everybody into zombies, and all the DC superheroes are trying to save humanity and whatnot, and then they retreat to the green, where Poison Ivy only lets them come in on behalf of Harley Quinn because she loves her.
Yeah.
And it's just very much in your face. So like, but I think in regards to this one, because I don't want to go on topic, I think this would have been amazing. Like just the artwork itself. Chuck Dixon, I am familiar with Chuck Dixon. He's done a lot.
I'm not familiar with the artist. I'm not familiar with the artist myself.
Yeah, I know Chuck Dixon created Bane. I know he's done Batman. Like the artwork itself is I think gorgeous. I think it'd be but that's the thing. You can't have a white superhero going after black criminals because all black criminals are bad, or all black people are criminals. Is basically like in today's logic, right?
That's how they try and frame it.
Even though there are statistics that back that men and kids in general who grow up in a household without a father are X times more likely to commit a crime. That's not subjective.
That's been a topic of discussion for a lot of people.
That is an objective fact, and that's why do you think they want to destroy the nuclear family?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They want to create these. I'm not going to use the word twink, but they want to create these boys, right? That are not men and self-reliant on government. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't want men out there that will. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I think I think Chuck Dixon should somehow. Well, and they'll never do it. DC will never do it, and that's the thing. He can have a copy
and they
of this.
won't,
We'll
because
never
I think
do it.
also Chuck Dixon's gone solo.
He's done. Oh, he's doing. He's
more Eric independent, and he's doing stuff for Eric July. So I guess this is some of Gary Quapis, some of his stuff.
And that's why I think Image is so successful right now, because they're creator owned and they're not beholden to stockholders. They're not beholden to, well, from my understanding, I'm sure there's a CEO of Image, but it's creator owned. It's your stuff. You're not beholden to a board of directors that tells you what to do. That's why Jim Lemire, is it Jim Lemire? Lemire, what's his name? Jim Lemire.
I'm not sure. Names I'm always horrible with, unless I'm really like in tune with whatever's going on. But yeah, I mean, this story alone could have been pretty interesting. Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah.
He
did Black Hammer. Why is his name escaping me? Jeff Lemire. That's why Jeff Lemire has been so successful, because he was with DC and he did a lot of comics for DC, and DC tried to strong arm him. They tried to tell him what they want him to write, and he's like, no. He finished it, but he got pissed off and he left. It's the same thing with Snyder.
Hey, you gotta make those decisions sometimes.
Oh, for sure. But they all went to Image, and I think that's why Image has been successful. Because, like I said, you remove the people that tell you what you need to do out of the equation, and you just do what you want to do. So it's sad, because I think this would be a really, really good. This could be a really, really good comic. Grant Morrison's. I love Grant Morrison. I don't know if I've read any of Dixon's stuff, but based off what it looks like, I think
other than the Bane books,
been good. Yeah, obviously, but that's right, he did Bane.
Well, like him and Graham Nolan created Bane.
Yeah,
I understand. Stood correctly.
DC is I remember I sat here when what's his name did who did freaking Guardians?
Oh, the movie?
Yeah, who's the director?
Oh God, why am I blanking on his name?
I'm blanking today. I don't know what my deal is. He just came over to DC.
James Gunn.
Thank you. I thought, James Gunn, he's gonna be good. He's actually got a plan, but like after watching, Black Adam and it's just DC's just dead. And I think anybody that continues to want to take this, like, I'm not for like bullying people. I'm not for that. But like when you're so hard set on pushing this agenda that when you are set on pushing this agenda that Anheuser-Busch is pushing, that all these companies are pushing, I guess this is gonna be bad. So I can't tell you last time I read a good comic that was released within, probably 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
Like, they all push this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that's connected with a big company, they're basically strong-armed into doing it, if they are.
And then you have people that, and then, Eric July, doing his own thing, but like, he's still small.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have Eric July, you have Ethan Van Sciver, bunch of others within that whole kind of group making their own comics. I mean, so they're trying to have an alternative out there. At least for some, the objective is just to put out good storylines again, like what everybody remembers of old superhero comics.
Yeah, I actually
Which-
found a really good. It's a comic book company. It's called Tribulation Task Force. So it's a Christian company. The dude's a Christian, and he basically has brought in superheroes that are so it's Christianity within comics. So, I mean, if that's not your cup of tea, then fine. But I like them because I love superheroes, right? So it brings the superhero element to it, but from a biblical lens and a Christian lens, and it's just So that's the one company that I found, and then I haven't done. I need to probably start. I read ISOM 1, or I'm like 3/4. I get I'm almost done with it, so I'm very curious to see how. And I was very hard on the guy. I was very hard on. We should do a revealing. I was very hard on Eric July because I was like, man, this is trash. This comic looks like he made it in his living room, like the old school panel to panel. And but when you sit back there and look at it, like when you read Killing Joke by Alan Moore, it's the same thing. The only difference is Alan Moore was with DC, and I mean, it's obviously the Batman story, but like the old school panel, panel by panel. Right. That's how comic books were.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think I was just trying to find every excuse not to just rip on the guy because I didn't like him. But it's really coming to the point where it's like, you know what, like,
well,
at least he's not pushing this agenda.
Well, and that's why I let you borrow the issue 1 that I had so you could read it and form an opinion for yourself and make your own decision if you want.
Well, I need to
if you liked it or not.
I need to reread it with a non-biased perspective now, because when I read it, I was like, I'm reading this as a DC guy, and I was like, oh man,
got to go in with a more open mind, as it were.
Yeah. But it's just sad because it's like,
yeah, it is.
It's funny. It's like it's the crazy guy, right? They did the Starfield, the big baby guy, bald-headed baby guy. That was like,
as from Heels versus Babyface.
Yeah, like, they're messing with our escapism, right. And like he has a point. And that, like, out of the 6-minute rant he had, like all of like 3 microseconds, he had a point, right? Is it they've infiltrated the escapism?
A lot of it was a lot of angry yelling, but that was kind of my point to it, is that there is some substance to which to take from Az's very angry rant that was after however many hours of playing it and everything too.
They're going to push this on you no matter what. Whether they push it, at the polls, whether they push in the schools, whether they push in the square, they're gonna push this agenda, right? And it's
one way or another,
Then we get so frustrated and let's think, oh no, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it. When it comes into escapism. So it's like, if we were half as passionate about dealing with this stuff outside escapism, then maybe it wouldn't be. You know what I mean? So.
Well, like they say, pop culture's downstream from politics, so you have to start somewhere.
Crap rolls downhill, right?
Exactly. So Red Hoodwink did say you probably saw a cover of Superboy John and Nightwing. Hitman, look up cover Nightwing 89, and I have it right here. So
is that what? Okay.
Yeah. So right there.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So was I right or was I wrong?
Well, I mean, that's certainly the cover, but I don't think that's necessarily the story that's going on.
Okay, that's the cover I saw. So I formed my opinion, I guess, off that cover. But there is one where John Kent's son is in a relationship with a dude.
There is, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Hello, Steve. Hey, Fig. Well, look at you. You're finally going to start that YouTube, huh? You've been talking about it. Wookie was pushing you to do it. Not a bad idea. I haven't seen Wookie
today. Yeah, is he good? He's taking a break, I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I haven't heard anything directly about that.
Hopefully he's not mad about the whole pizza comment. I mean, I'm not going to retract it, but I mean...
It has nothing to do with your pizza. With your pizza comment. You're good, Hitman. You're good.
I mean, it's disgusting, but...
Well, and for Wookie, I saw his tweet about that. I'm only hoping for the best. I hope he gets, into the right place that he wants to and does keep doing content. I've liked his videos. I've liked his streams. I'm going to miss his Sunday stream.
It can be demanding. I mean, I guess it can be demanding, I guess, if you're just doing multiple.
Well, and I mean, like I said, he was doing videos and stuff like that. It does. I mean, trying to, write up the script, then do the recording, and like it is, since he's on screen, he has to kind of redo shots and stuff like that if he gets out of place and everything.
That's why you wear a mask, man. Just wear a mask. Don't worry about it. You can mess up all you want.
I can understand there being some because I mean I get sometimes little just trimming what I do from the segments of this show is like, oh god, here we go. And it's like, oh, did I remember to put which episode of Saturday Night Sith was this from? Did I make sure and put the thing at the end of the video? And do I need to trim up the segment a little bit more? So I definitely understand parts of it, but like only some of it. And like it is, he was always getting special made clips and stuff like that, so he was going the extra mile. So I can only guess how much more. And like it is, I hope he does. I hope he stops by in the chat. We see him occasionally. But I understand wanting to decompress and take that break.
Send him a pizza. I'll send him a real pizza. I'll send him a proper just cheese pizza. And then we'll like edible arrangements him the pineapple. You can edible arrangements the pineapple. I'll send him the pizza.
Dude, Bradley thanks. Steve starting a channel? Dogs and cats living together? Mass hysteria. Static is way of the pineapple on pizza.
Oh gosh.
Steve is saying it truly is static. You just got a new subscriber. All right. Channel's been growing, man. All the channels have been growing. It's been awesome. I appreciate it.
100th episode, we got to get a DJ board.
Oh, we gotta do something. Bradley's saying I was burned out after Ahsoka and 2 episodes of Loki. Now I'm back to videos. Dude, I understand. That's why I was kind of glad we took last week off, because it's like, dude, Ahsoka.
I heard about it. I heard about Loki though. People are up in all arms. Apparently, it's not as good as what they thought it was going to be, or something. Has season 3? Was it season 3?
Season 2.
Is it season? Okay, season 2.
And hello, Pinky. How's it going? Saying hi, guys. Hello. Oh, do you, Static? You got something for us for the 100, huh?
Let's go.
Looking forward
to you to grow
dude.
a beard.
That's right. November's coming up.
I've seen you with one.
November is coming up.
Dude, no shave inbro with me. It'll be a little hard with a respirator, but I think I can do it. So Loki,
okay.
not good then. Not good. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it. The only time I've checked out anything for the MCU, I still need to watch the 3rd Guardians movie. I haven't watched that, but like it is, if it's anything to do with Spider-Man was stuff I did check out. And you had me watch freaking Endgame and what you call it, the one prior to that. What was the one before Endgame?
Infinity War?
Yeah. And I think you were just needing some confirmation on how bad you thought they were.
Yeah. Well, and then some, but because I will say, like, I have the I have the old school Thanos comics.
Yeah, where
Infinity
they
Gauntlet
very
and
very
War.
lightly base these movies off of.
If you could even say lightly, like they just took the gauntlet
very lightly.
Yeah.
in name only.
In name only, and the fact that there's a gauntlet that they took out of it, and that's it. They made
all
Thanos,
she wrote.
They made Thanos a humanitarian. They just God. Death wasn't even like, where's Death?
I know.
Where's Death?
The whole
Where's
motivation.
Wolverine? Where's the fighting over Mistress Death?
I mean, that's the problem with doing certain storylines when they didn't even have the full roster to do the proper storylines with. So it's like, guys, what are you doing?
That makes the comic was Death.
Well, and that was part of my problem when they did. That's part of my problem when they tried to do Civil War. It's like you can't do it without. You need the X-Men.
Well,
as
and
being
that's
part
another
of all
thing.
that.
I have the comics from Civil War, the old school comics, and everybody, well, not everybody. I heard a lot. One person in particular was like, "Oh, the comics are trash." I'm like, the movie was trash. Like, what's worse? Your opinion of the comics or the movie? So,
Yeah.
but again, DC's not even better. Like the only thing that DC has that they can go to bat with is their TV shows. But even the TV shows aren't a. I just don't understand why you can't
And
adapt the comic.
DC's excelled with their animated stuff more than anything.
Absolutely. That's their bread and butter. That's the only thing that they're,
that they've been good at.
Yeah.
Sad to say, but
so
because Marvel needs more competition to maybe light a fire under their ass. But
I just don't think I don't think we'll ever get something that can stand toe to toe, neck and neck with Phase 1. Like Robert Downey Jr. As much as I hate Marvel on principle, Phase 1 was. I mean, you had Iron Man. You had Edward Norton. Was it Edward Norton did the Hulk?
Yeah, and a lot of people were disappointed that he didn't come back.
Well, I don't think they would have. I think that they weren't going to have him come back. I think because of his. Well, I can only speculate.
I've heard he's difficult to work with. But I mean, what actor fucking isn't?
Megan Fox was this difficult. She called Michael Bay a Nazi. Basically called him Hitler. Like boo hoo. Everybody's hard to work. Tom Cruise is hard to work for.
Yep.
There's videos of him yelling at people, calling them bloody, idiots.
Oh, during the coof. Yeah. That's because they have they had such strict regulations, and they were trying to make sure they were staying all within what the guidelines were. Otherwise, they would have gotten fined. But
it's like, here's the thing, though.
So
was
I
he really
understood that a little bit.
But that's my point. Was he really being rude, or were you just not following the rules? Because every movie he's done in some type of capacity, I think, I could be wrong, has done some type of directing role or some type of what do you call it? What is it? Like an advisory role or something. Like, so he loves Henry Cavill. He thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Henry Cavill and Mission Impossible Fallout does this little like arm cock thing, and they were doing, I don't know, Good Morning America. He's like, hey man, oh man, he's just brilliant. Like, do the thing, man. Like, go do the thing, and Henry Cavill's like doing the part, and he's just eating it up, man. So it's like, but then you hear stories about like on Christmas, he sent because they had to like train hard through all these movies. And then Tom Cruise is just sending cakes to everybody on Christmas. So you hear people say that he's hard to work for and he's intolerant and all this and that. But then you see him doing stuff like,
you have to question the people that are saying whatever it is, because they might be coming from a certain. Well, yeah, and some of this is coming from a place of they don't like the guy already, so it's like they just want to shit on him, so they're taking the opportunity to do so. That's the thing. Everybody's basically two-faced in Hollywood. You can't trust a single mother fricker out there. But let me get through some of these comments really quick. Steve saying nobody wants to see that in regards to Static. Duke Devil, Loki season 2, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. That's been Marvel in general.
Shakespeare said life is told by an idiot. Yeah.
Pinky said the first episodes of Loki was confusing. Haven't had time for other episodes. I'm just not even bothering with it.
But here's go ahead. Sorry.
Red Hoodwink. The closest I've been to watching Loki season 2 is watching Grizzy's vids. Yeah, that's probably the best way to consume that.
The thing that I liked about Loki, though, and this is coming from a DC guy, is I like the mysteriousness of Loki in the movies. Like, you didn't, unless you, even with
he started out strong. He started out strong, but
this is what happens. You
mainly in Avengers, but I didn't watch anything after. Like, I didn't watch Thor 2.
Thor 2 was I like Thor 2.
I can't speak to that. Like, I know I've seen Thor 1.
You saw
I've seen
a more
Avengers.
humanistic side of. You saw more of a humanistic side of Loki in regards to like that. No, but it's the mysteriousness of it, because it's like he's he's all about mischief, and you never know what side of the line he's gonna fall on, right? So he's kind of like, he's bad, but he can be an anti-hero, but he's still bad, but he also can be an anti-hero. Like, so you know what I mean? But every time, this is the point I'm trying to make. Every time you give somebody a show, or you do a show on somebody, it goes to crap. The exception
It's
would
like
be Ahsoka because she was already crap, right? Before.
people will say, "Oh, season 1 is good, but give me a chance to watch season 2, and I'll let you know how it goes and if it's worth getting into season 1."
there are only two. There's like 3 examples I'll give you that like just progressively get better, right? There's Blue Bloods with Tom Selleck. There's NCIS with Mark Harmon, and then I still have some. I mean, I'd say SVU, but that's because they got rid of Christopher Maloney after like. But then he came back. But like once they got rid of him, I was like, I'm done, right?
Right.
I'm sure there's more shows, but
yeah.
But like, Loki, nah.
Bradley was saying, I will be seeing the Marvels late afternoon on the 9th.
Don't do it, Bradley. The trailer was garbage.
Me and maybe 6 other people in the theater. I hope you rip on it, but
alien?
dude, I swear you're a masochist of some kind.
Bro, who wants to see Samuel L. Jackson making out with a skull?
That was from, what was it? The
like,
Secret
I
War
thought,
or whatever?
when I first watched Avengers, I thought that Nick Fury got his eye, got damaged in like Vietnam or some like Black Ops mission and like Kandahar.
Yeah, a lot of people thought there was more going on than what happened.
By a cat.
By a cat.
By a cat. That's the story you're going with.
Yep.
He now just looks Bradley, good on you, dude.
More power.
You love pain. Fall asleep.
Steve said, I totally thought you said Glizzy Viz. Oh boy. Red Hoodwinked. I've seen a lot of people say they liked Civil War. I was willing to stop watching the MCU right then. Like Civil War, I was kind of torn on because I was like, oh hey, they brought Spider-Man in. Let's see how this will be done. My other half was like, they gave like Cap's speech to I don't know, like the great or not great, I don't know, granddaughter or to Peggy Carter from the first Captain America movie. And I'm just like,
do you think that
of course they gave away his big speech? And the thing was, like, that was a speech that he gave to Peter that kind of swayed him away from Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Do
you think it would have been different if they had brought in like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield and not Tom Holland?
Oh, okay. She was Peggy's niece. My bad. Niece, not granddaughter.
Well, yeah.
Sharon.
Sharon!
Red Hoodwink also said, I'd list Dark World before Ragnarok. I wasn't a big fan of the silliness of that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either, and I've heard people really sour on Ragnarok over time.
It is trash.
Pinky, when pussy attacks, yes. But yeah.
What are your thoughts about, like, do you think that it could have been better if they brought Tom Holland in if they would have brought in Tobey Maguire versus Tom Holland? I just don't know. I don't know if I like Tom
I
think
they needed to cast it for their cinematic universe. I just think he's gotten nothing but some very weak sauce stories, and I don't like that. Basically he was Iron Jr. He wasn't Spider-Man. He was Iron Boy Jr.
Literally.
So that was my disappointment. That was my disappointment with it. And I saw Homecoming.
I've said it before. I feel like Tobey Maguire did a really good Peter Parker and a bad Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield did a really good Spider-Man and a crappy Peter Parker, and Tom Holland just trash.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. I'm kind of like, for me, I think Toby was even. I thought Toby was even between Peters and Spider-Man. I do. Andrew Garfield, I said it. I thought, especially after Amazing Spider-Man 2, I kept feeling like he did. Yeah, I would say, yeah, he kept wanting to go off to be Spider-Man. So I think that was more of like where even maybe he was mentally even like and it just happened to come through that yes, he just wants to be Spider-Man. And yeah, Tom Holland. I mean, he has like the kind of look and fitness to it,
He's
but
just bad at both.
I don't like the story. I didn't like the storylines. I didn't like the
I
villain.
I
Oh no,
like the
no,
villain.
Michael Keaton. I liked Michael Keaton as
Oh, for
Tombs and
sure.
everything for
Yeah.
the Vulture.
Yeah.
But no, and then it was still like I know I've gone back and forth on this. Was like, I want villains. I want evil. Give me evil versus good versus evil.
He
Not
hasn't
this,
had
like,
any.
not like this whole thing of like, oh, the bad guy, they've become bad guys, but they're just misunderstood and due to only bad circumstances and stuff like that. Stop with the fucking realism and just give me just an evil. And that was what I did like about No Way Home, and when they brought in the Green Goblin, but only because once the Green Goblin took over, you knew you were dealing with a pure evil son of a bitch. And that was like what I did like, but it's still like the whole like kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. There was the Norman Osborn part, which might not have been too bad, but
don't besmirch Norman Osborn like that. He's not evil. He's misunderstood.
I didn't say he was. I said the Green Goblin half of him is the evil side, while the Norman Osborn part,
point
of view. Yes. Thank you, Kenobi. You dick again.
I thought the Tobey Maguire movies really nailed the villains. I felt like even like in Spider-Man 3, like Sandman, the guy that was from he was in Taxi. No,
Wings.
Wings. I'm sorry, Wings.
He played.
I thought
the mechanic.
Yeah.
That's what I always remember him from.
Yeah, I just felt like the and what pissed me off about Fox Studios is at the end of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, you had the Sinister Six, and they didn't do it.
That's Sony. Sony is
Sony. I'm sorry.
Charge, yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't do anything about it.
No,
like they could have. It could have been a really good movie. And who knows? Maybe they'll do it. I mean, they'll own the rights. They'll never sell it. So maybe eventually they'll do a Sinister Six, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I can't get behind Tom Holland. It's just the whole
My
like. It's your
problem
point,
with all the Spider-Man movies is that the villains always find out he's Spider-Man.
Jake Gyllenhaal knew. I don't know how he knew. What's his name? Mysterio.
They quickly made Norman Osborn find out. They had Doc Ock find out. Venom was supposed to know, yes, because of the symbiote, and that's understandable. But even though, that story got rushed, and it should have just been Sandman focused.
Do you think Sam
Harry
Raimi
Osborn
would ever do another one?
I don't know. I mean, after Multiverse of Madness, I don't know if he would come back, considering a lot of that got taken out of his hands for the most part.
Do you think he would come back if they gave him full reins? And do you think if he had full reins to a movie, it would be an actually good one?
I don't know.
If a studio came back and said, "We'll give you full reign to do whatever you want,"
is he starting brand new, or is he bringing back Toby?
That's the question. What would you? Let's do both. Let's say if he brought back Toby, could it be just as good, if not better, than if he just started from scratch? And if he started from scratch, where would he start? That's a good question.
Okay, so I think we talked about this before, but
did we? I can't remember if we did.
I want to say we might have.
Oh, we did when I was on vacation, when I was doing the show from the road.
I know. I've talked about. I just want to say I have, but I know my idea. I know the idea that I've cooked up in my brain is that they do Spider-Girl with Tobey Maguire, but still keep it more focused on him, but introduce him because like they already alluded to him in
who's Spider-Girl? Is she the one that's the white with the who's Spider-Girl?
No, Spider. So back in the 90s, back in the late 90s, I want to say they introduced Spider-Girl, who this was like another alternate universe sort of thing. And it was Peter and MJ's daughter. who at one point they thought was lost or kidnapped by Norman Osborn. And then they found her. Peter and Norman had one big final clash. Peter lost a leg and he retired from being Spider-Man and started working as a police detective. And then they had their daughter, Mayday. Mayday then has she has the spider abilities. Amazingly, it's kind of acted like a mutation now, or a mutant gene, or whatever the freak you want to call it. And she does basically she adopts the mantle, but is Spider Girl. And so I think with Toby, considering what they alluded to in No Way Home, the way MJ and I have made it work. You could potentially bring that storyline in, I think. And I think that could be like a good way of also then going, okay, let's segue to maybe passing on the mantle sort of thing.
This is
but
not
with her own name and stuff like that. But I wouldn't personally like take away I wouldn't do the leg thing. I would still make sure he was whole and that he would maybe still want to get in the webs every so often to join up with her.
Why would you not want him to have he would just go to Wakanda and get a vibranium?
Well, he did eventually get like a synthetic leg, but I'm just going off of like a convenience thing to make it a little easier on that.
Okay.
But like maybe but we could kind of like again hint at the back injury. But that's kind of
does he have a family? In this movie, does he have a family?
Yes. Him, MJ, and his daughter Mayday.
Not to be confused with the post I sent in Discord. The comics, the rebooting.
Oh no, not the Ultimate Verse stuff. No.
So what
but then
universe is it where is it Ghost Spider? She wears the white costume. It's not Silk, but it's Gwen Stacy. It's another reality.
I don't know what she got. She did. Funnily enough, she got her own superhero name instead of Spider Gwen. I don't know what the hell I don't know what the hell they called her, but she got her own name. Miles Morales still hasn't gotten his own nick.
You know who I'm talking about, then, right?
Yeah.
Where she doesn't die.
When Stacy's spider, got the spider bite and everything. Yeah,
but they're not together.
No, because Peter died in her universe because he tried to give himself powers, but he turned himself into the lizard or something like that. It's been a while since I've checked that book out. But then Raimi starting brand new. I mean, I don't know where he would go considering he's already done. And I mean, I'm sure people are already tired of the origin story stuff. That's the thing. So I don't know where he would necessarily go with it. So Red Hoodwink said Civil War should have been an Avengers movie, not a Captain America movie. Well, I mean that could have been like a good time to bring in the X-Men or something with all the mutant stuff, considering that was also the catalyst for Civil
Ms.
War.
Marvel is a mutant now.
Yeah,
which is dumb because I thought the whole mutant thing.
Yeah, she got reborn on. I don't know.
And that's just stupid because I thought the whole mutant thing was supposed to be exclusively to the X-Men. There was no mutants outside the realm of X-Men.
No, that was meant to be Marvel. That was how superheroes were superheroes, that they were mutants, that some would have those special abilities born innately into them. Yes,
but specifically they were within X-Men. Like when you hear the term mutant, it's always been
that was certainly where the term, I believe, got coined. Yes, was with the X-Men books.
They don't consider Thor mutant.
No, because he's like a
right, or they don't consider
like a I don't want to say God because he's still fallible and everything, but like a celestial or something like that.
He just lives for a very long time.
Yeah,
it's like Loki says. He's like, what does Odin say? He's like, we're not gods. We're born, we live, we die. He's like, and then Loki's like, give or take a few billion years or million years or whatever it is. A few thousand years or whatever it is.
Right. Bradley was saying Marvel Comics is rebooting the Ultimate Universe with a new Ultimate Spider-Man, kind of like Peter B. Parker from the Miles Morales movies. Yeah, I've seen that, and I don't trust them to actually hold.
So you did not watch the animated Spider-Man though, right?
I have not seen either animated Spider-Man.
Or do you
Miles
want
Morales.
to? Do you have any desire to, or no?
There's a part of me that feels like I should check it out just because it's Spider-Man. Another part.
The
of me
second
is like,
one that just came out has like 7 different Spider-Men apparently.
The problem is like I know they kind of start making Peter look like a dipshit in the first movie, and from what I've gathered from the second movie, it doesn't get any better. But there's a part of me that's thought about checking it out. Yeah,
maybe we should watch it and do a review before.
Maybe
I'd do it with you.
We could do that next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
It'd be fun because I mean we don't, like I said, we don't have anything going on. I mean, I don't know when Acolytes. I don't know if they've set a hard date yet.
No,
with the strike and everything. But
Bradley said Spider-Gwen is also known as Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
In the Miles Morales movie, I think Gwen is Spider-Woman. I thought they had Spider-Woman. They made her black with an afro and she's pregnant. It could be. I haven't watched it. I don't know.
So in one universe, they're together. They're in a relationship, right? And then in this one, they just never get together.
I hate multiverses.
Hold on. How does that you affect time? Like if you affect time, how does that work? Is it time travel?
No.
Are there multiple? Is this
crossing
like
dimensions and stuff like that?
Are there like 52 Earths within Marvel? Like DC makes sense because there's 52 Earths within DC, and each, I mean, essentially within you have each Earth has like its own fractured. So like Earth 1 fractured would, let's say you're good on Earth 1, and Earth 2 would be your doppelganger would essentially be evil. I mean, essentially but there's 52 of them, right? So is that Marvel?
I need to grow a goatee and I'll be evil fractured filter.
You need to get a mustache and put wax in it. But no, like, is there multiple Earths within Marvel, or is it just universes?
I mean, I don't know if it's considered quite the same way, but like, I mean,
there's
Marvel Universe 616, and then Marvel Universe, I forgot what they called like the Ultimate Verse, but yeah,
are there multiple Peter Parkers?
I mean, some yes, some no, yeah. So they do have that multiverse thing going on for it, yes.
Or is there just one singular Peter Parker and he lives in multiple different universes?
I'm sorry, say that part again?
Exactly. You heard me say it correctly. There's one Peter Parker who just lives in multiple different universes.
No.
Right.
But there is one main continuity.
It doesn't sound like it. What's the main continuity?
The main continuity is the main comic line, Earth 616.
Let me ask you this. If Peter Parker dated Gwen and Gwen died and now is with MJ, and the other Peter Parker that's in a different universe, does he not know that Gwen died, but Gwen's not alive, and that he's living?
His universe would have a different Gwen, a different timeline. It's just like
it's the same Peter Parker, so you would not have any memory of it.
Oh God, this makes my brain hurt sometimes. I
can just ask him, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the funny thing, because like in the freaking comics, when they did their Spider-Verse stuff originally,
like Gwen Stacy died in the comics, right?
Yeah, and even
off the bridge.
There's even in when they did some of the Spider-Verse stuff, and they had this group that was killing off the spider people. There was the universe with Mayday as Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, whatever. And they went and killed Peter Parker in that universe, but that's like a timeline that's technically ahead of the current one. And because like it is, MJ is like, or not MJ, Mayday is like in her late teens, maybe approaching early 20s. So yeah, they don't have the flash. They don't have flashpoints, right? They don't have the Speed Force. No, not like DC.
Well,
Yeah,
then how did
Canon 616 is the main continuity in our universe.
Okay, well, hold on. So if something hasn't happened yet, there has to be some type of speed force, because how can you have something that hasn't happened yet in one universe and hasn't happened in the other? It makes sense within DC because there's the speed force, and you can go into the speed force and you can travel forward, back, forward, and in time.
I think this accurately depicts it.
Well, you brought it up. I'm just asking. You said it hasn't happened in one universe when it's happening in others. So eventually what happened in the other universe would eventually catch up to the other universe, right?
No,
if one of the set of events happened in one universe, those events would eventually catch up to the other universe. Yes or no?
The rules are probably different between Marvel and DC.
Time travel is the same no matter if it's DC or Marvel.
No, because each thing has their own.
Yes, Back to the Future said it. Back to the Future proved it.
But even Back to the Future is their own set of rules because it doesn't follow the same rules as like Bill and Ted
a different reality
or Doctor Who.
Or is it a universe? Okay, define reality and define universe.
I am not smart enough to have this conversation.
You brought it up. You have to now explain this. The burden of proof is on you because I have no idea how to understand Marvel's universe. Like I can explain to you how DC works. There's 52 different Earths and there's a speed force. It's very simple math. I cannot figure out the Marvel side of this. You're telling me that in one universe,
Marvel's like Star Wars. Their shit is just as inconsistent
you're
as
telling me that Norman Osborn Stone Cold stuns Gwen Stacy off a bridge, and then he tries to save her and snaps her neck. But then in another universe, she gets bit, doesn't die, and then Peter loses a leg, and they're not together?
No. Because
explain, please.
So, like it is, yes, certain alternate timelines that they do are just different side stories. It's
it's not making any sense because within DC, it's the same.
He says, Red Hoodwink says, I'm not defining anything. There should only be one continuity, not a bunch of what ifs. And that's basically what the Spider-Girl thing is a what if they got their kid back, basically. That Spider-Girl story is what if Peter and MJ got their kid back, they stayed together, were married and all that fantasticness and lived with their kid and all of that. So that's like and so it branches off. Yes, these what ifs start at different points in time. And then the problem is, yes, then they have their fucking multiverse events, even within Spider-Man's own books, where yes, then he's going to alternate versions of Spider-Man.
Does he grow his leg back?
No. He never.
You said he turned into the lizard in the movie.
That was in the Spider Girl. That was in the Spider Gwen. What if book? What if Gwen Stacy
it's a book,
became
not
Spider?
A universe. It's a book. Wasn't a universe.
It's become a universe.
So he did or did not grow back.
Last time, I think I don't know if she's in that universe still or if she's in Miles's universe.
Did he take the same serum that that doctor took in Spider-Man 1?
There we go. Spider-Man is blue. He's always been blue.
You bastard. Ahsoka's blue. I proved it. Did he take the same serum? So when you say he's a lizard, I'm just trying to
right, I think it's been a while since I've read that book. So it's been a while.
Okay, then I heard in one universe it was Hobgoblin that killed Gwen and not Norman. So who was it?
I never heard about that one.
It's in another universe. You should know.
I don't know everything. I admit that.
My brain.
Marvel is based off of theory of parallel universes and actual theory IRL. Well, I'm not, like I said, I already said it. I'm not smart enough to discuss this. I don't know everything about Marvel.
The Tesseract? Is that how this all came about? Did he have the Tesseract?
I don't know.
Then how did he get to another universe?
Okay.
He's open. Is there world between worlds in Marvel?
So there is, like I said, the Spider-Verse. There's a Spider-Verse special event. And through Madam Web and the web of time, basically. And
Oh, don't you
everything.
start. You are lying. The Madam
No.
Web and the
Yes.
web of time.
Basically,
This is Chronicles of Narnia.
and there's basically like the spider that controls the flow of time for all the spider people through multiverses and stuff like that. Believe me, I don't.
Are
like
you
it
literally?
any-
Are you taking the piss?
No, I wish I was.
You're out here talking about Madam Web and the web of time. You're taking the piss.
I wish I was. I really wish I was.
Is she just some sorcerer that controls?
She's a thing, and yes, she's
Red
effectively
Hood,
like
Red Hoodwink has confirmed this is a thing.
what Madam Web is a thing. She is basically like like a spider witch.
Is she like the same thing that was with Doctor Strange?
I mean, she probably could be like that class of tier of superhero, but like I said, she's kind of like, so this evolved over time.
Madam Web right now. Like I said, I'm not. I've got to look this up. Madam Web.
Yep.
Web. That's
Yes.
who we're going with. I'm looking this up. This cannot be a thing. Who is responsible for this shenanigans? Madam Web.
Yep. Let me get to this. Bradley said this earlier. The second movie, it does not get any better. If you were Spider-Man, would you bring your baby into battle hanging on your chest in a baby? I know. That's what I saw that. I'm like, what the freak is he doing?
This the one?
Yeah, that's Madam Web.
Where did this person come from?
I don't know when they
210?
brought her in exactly, but she's part of the 616.
210, it looks like.
That what it's saying?
Denny O'Neil? John Romita Jr. did? We after we get up on once we get caught up on comics, we are going to figure out who this woman is. That is
I saw they showed the Spidey from Spectacular cartoon. Yeah, I think I remember saying that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I already showed that one. Yes. Dude, Bradley saying Marvel movies and TV shows we are getting Craven, Madam Web, Echo, Agatha, all these before the Fantastic Four. Oh God, that's right. Yeah, so let's throw out all these other characters before we throw out the first Marvel family. It's so smart. Red Hoodwink. It shows you in the box to the right, Hitman, her first appearance.
Well, according to Marvel.com, her durability is 1, her energy is 1. She's absolutely just the strongest thing ever. Durability 1, energy 1, fighting skills 1, intelligence 7, speed 1, strength 1.
She's mostly like kind of a clairvoyant type. Like
Cassandra Webb. My whole childhood has been a lie because I always thought that the boy got bit by a spider and then just became Spider-Man.
Yeah,
there was no
Peter Parker.
There was no Gandalf.
You never watched the Spider-Man 90s cartoon? They introduced Madam Web in that cartoon series.
No,
and then he started bouncing
on JJ. What's his name? JJ Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. Well, just focus on him. He's hilarious, and I think everybody in Canada and America should have a boss like him.
And
the guy who played the actor that played him in the live action, absolutely fantastic, nailed it.
Oh yeah,
the guy that does the what commercials?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can we escape the Spider-Man thing?
What?
Can we escape Spider-Man from? I don't know how else I can explain things. I'm sorry.
You haven't explained it. Like all you have done is create
J.K.
this web
Simmons
of
that played in the Raimi movie.
You've just created this web of lies and tomfoolery.
How dare you? I created nothing.
Other than
I'm only doing the best that I can to explain some of this nonsense. See, this is my problem with Western comic books. They all get so incoherent and jumbled up, and they just stray into all these bizarre territories.
Did Madam Web give him his power? Did she create the spider?
No, she did not give him his powers.
Is she an elected official?
I mean, unofficially, I guess she's kind of an official for the whole spider crew.
Is she the
but
spider
now
whisperer?
But then they killed off her, and there's a new Madam Web, Jessica Drew. If I remember right. I think that's her.
Why would you want anything to do with spiders? They're disgusting, scary creatures. Like, why would you have something to do? Like, bats are way better. Bats are fluffy and they're cute. And they don't bite you. Like,
are you telling me the vampire bat might not bite you?
No. When was the last vampire bat that bit you that you remember?
Well, I'm not in an area for vampire bats, so I'm cool.
There are bats here. There are bats at work. What are you talking about? Did you see what I did?
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Literally, I've seen them. Video evidence.
I mean, there's certainly demon bats. I can say that.
I just can't. I just don't know how to. My brain hurts, man. All you could just have told me that, like, yeah, he is the test rat.
Spiders can be fluffy. True. Tarantulas can be fluffy.
Man, I saw this video where it's like a wolf spider. Like the girl tried to hit it with a broomstick, and all 2,000 little spiders came out. Bleh.
Red Hoodwink said it's not Fractured Filter's fault. The comics never really explain it. It's just there as an excuse to other universes. Yeah.
Like, my brain legit hurts trying to understand this.
Oh, believe me, so does mine. It's just now I kind of understand why they had such a childish thing to say in Doctor Who when he just waves off the explanation of time as wibbly wobbly timey wimey. I mean, it's like the best.
That makes more sense. If you had told me that, I would have.
Damn it! I could have saved so much time if I just said wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
I would have literally, that would have sufficed.
Shit.
But you're over here talking about the same Peter Parker from 123 universe is over here at the 616 area universe, and they know nothing about each other.
Oh, God.
I'm at a loss for words. I can't.
Oh, my God.
Like, if you had a relationship with a girl and then died and then was in another universe and saw the same girl that you saw got punk kicked off a bridge, would you not be like, do you want to just start where we started again?
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. Let's just leave it at that.
Or I would be like, if my girlfriend got kicked in the face off a bridge and I was devastated because I couldn't save her, and then I saw her again, we would be going out to go get sushi.
Oh, God.
Timey-wimey, wiggly-wobbly.
Yep.
I thought DC was obviously
overly convoluted and shit.
You're over here with calculus, and DC's just 2 + 2 = 6. The speed, their explanation to everything is the Speed Force, because it makes sense when you understand that. It's oh, okay, yeah, Speed Force. It's the same thing that Star Wars. Oh, it's War Between Worlds.
Well, okay. This is the thing. This is why it is very important to establish rules of time travel and the way it works in your universe if you are going to have it. It's why it was a problem though when they tried to force it into something like Star Wars Rebels, with the world between worlds, it just didn't make sense. So that's why you must set rules, especially early on, with what you are going to do with your time travel. So
Yeah.
that's if there's anybody out there that's like, oh, I want to do a story about time travel. Well, you must establish your rules very early on. And that's why I like the Legacy of Kain series, because they also established their rules of time travel pretty early on and what is possible. They have basically a controller of time and stuff like that. So they have it very set up from the get, and they keep things connected. And that's also a smaller story than comic books. So when you even have something like, yes, the like the Speed Force, stuff like that, and I believe that was probably established very early on for the Flash, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that you must maintain and keep. And yes, like Bradley is saying, methinks Fractured is talking about sticking with established canon. Yes. So just things like that, and just keep your, and just, like it is time travel, either go into the weeds or just also keep it very simple. Don't overly complicate it. It's and they even kind of did it with like Quantum Leap, the way Al tries to explain it to Sam when his brain is all Swiss cheesed, and how it's basically like a ball of yarn clumped together, and everything's just jumbled together for the point of time that he's trying to travel to. Regardless, keep it simple.
I like the saying, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for that dissertation about how
how important it is for story
continuity. Continuity is key.
Yep. Canon and continuity is
and
very
consistency.
Key. Consistency.
And from what I'm gathering,
I think they kind of go hand. Yeah, all that kind of go hands in hand.
You should change your motto from the only thing that Disney is good about being, the whole,
Yeah, they're
Disney's
only consistent at being inconsistent. Yeah.
You should change that to Spider-Man. They are very consistent about being inconsistent.
That's comic books in general, dude.
I had no idea about
from
Madam
my
Web.
certain point of view.
Oh, don't do that.
I
just
don't like it when it's turned against
I'm mind blown. Just Madam Web, like. It's like this is what. That's what if my brain can make a noise, it'd be.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be spending my whole night trying to figure out how to time travel within Marvel Universe.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, redhead winked. I agree.
Can we all just come together and say multiverses are dumb and move on?
I agree. I'm in agreement.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's why it's like don't go down that route, please, for the love of God.
It's almost like they've adopted. It's almost like Filoni adopted the same multiverse that Marvel had, and it makes just about as much sense.
Effectively, yeah.
And by making sense, I mean it doesn't.
Yep.
Especially because Star Wars doesn't have a Tesseract.
No.
They just have Ahsoka and World Between. They have a door that you can go through. Endless rainbow of doors. Pick your door. It's like Jeopardy.
Pick your door, any door.
Oh man, that was fun. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute. I thought you were joking about Madam Web and the time of Web. I was like, is this a children's book that you're currently writing, Fractured?
Oh God.
Web of Time.
Right. For Wolf Door. Freaking Filoni. So here's something that's a little bit of fun. On X, Twix, Twitter, Twitter. Right now, I am trying to decide for Halloween night what to play. I put up a poll. So if you haven't, head on over there and cast your vote. I said, so I'm thinking of doing a Halloween night stream and debating what to play for it. So I ask you, the people. I have listed 4 games: System Shock, Alien Isolation, well, System Shock 2, Alien Isolation, Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, and Evil Within. Evil Within is a game I have never played, so that would be like a new one for me.
Here's my question: why is Andromeda on there? And like, I'm very curious why. Yeah, you're not putting in Andromeda.
Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a horror game in a different form, but
well, you're doing. You're doing a horror thing. You didn't put Star Wars Lego Star Wars on there either. It's supposed to be a scary horror.
Well, yeah, I went
Like,
for games that I'm aware of being more like horror, scary.
What's more scary
monster
than
themed?
You don't like Andromeda? I thought Mass Effect was brilliant. I thought Andromeda was brilliant.
Mass Effects 1 through 3 are great. Andromeda is trash.
You meant Andromeda 1 through 3 is trash. That's what you meant to say.
How dare you? But anyways, if you want to, you can head on over, cast your vote. I'm very curious to see, because for a while there, System Shock 2 and Evil Within were kind of neck and neck. But things have certainly changed. Isolation got some votes, a little more than Vampire the Masquerade, because originally Isolation was kind of the last in the lead, or last in the rankings there. So, and like Melee Games on here was saying, how is one of the greatest games of all time not sweeping this poll? And this is a screenshot from Vampire the Masquerade, which is usually, yes, very much it is a timeless lightning in a bottle sort of game. Lots of fun. I've always enjoyed it, and definitely has a really creepy segment. Plus, you get to play as vampires, so it fits with the whole Halloween theme too in that respects. Not it, and then some of it, like later on, does get pretty freaking wild and crazy and creepy and stuff like that. But I just thought I would share that really quick to see, for anybody else that hasn't gotten a chance to vote yet, go on over, cast your vote. Let's see what happens. So pumped. Let's go. But yeah, just wanted to share that out really quick. Looking forward to it.
I haven't voted yet. I'll be sure to vote.
And I was gonna be going through today and tomorrow. I wanted at least enough time, depending on which game. So if it's like System Shock or Vampire the Masquerade, I want to make sure and like grab any texture mods and stuff like that to get it ready. Or then like Alien Isolation or Evil Within, just to get the time to install it, and make sure everything's all up and up. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that as a fun little offshoot for Halloween. Doing something a little creepy, spooky.
I think you should put Andromeda on there. I think you've robbed the people.
I have not robbed the people.
You've robbed the people. You've robbed them. Oh, boys, a dear.
Oh, wow. So I saw this comment from Static, RAP Matthew Perry. And yeah, Matthew Perry dead at 54 after a parent drowning. Wow.
Who's Matthew Perry?
He most notably was Chandler Bing on Friends.
Really? He died?
Yeah. Apparently from a parent drowning. Yeah, dang. So Matthew Perry and I also had it here was hang on.
Yeah, today died, huh?
God dang it, I thought I had the article for it. But also, let me find it again. I know I had it saved off to the side. I also commented about it. Where is it? Dang it. Yeah, Richard Mole, who was for at least Batman the Animated Series, voiced
I
Two-Face.
supposed to, and then he died too.
Yeah, he was 80 years old. But I most remember him as Bull Shannon from Night Court.
That's what people said. They referenced both Night Court, or I didn't know him from Night Court. I just knew him from obviously Batman animated series. But man, yeah, Two-Face.
Yeah, so dang. R.I.P. man. That's some crazy shit. Funny how just like sometimes they just suddenly pop up. Wait, Kathleen Kennedy's trending. She's still alive. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was mean. Static already voted for Evil Within. Okay, so that's where that first vote came from for Evil Within. Yes, you need to play Evil Within then. Yeah, if I recall right, it was from some of the original, like one of the first early devs for the Resident Evil, like either like the original Resident Evils or Resident Evil 2. What's more scary than watching Lego Luke drink a carton of blue milk? That's pretty frightening, I'll say.
Yeah,
and that's a little dark, a little bit. Well, and let's see. I mean, I guess speaking of Kathleen Kennedy, let me lead in with this, which you also posted. This is from the whole Pandaverse South Park thing. So that's how that's to kind of give, I guess, some of the extra context to this a little bit, because Gina Carano did quote tweet it and had this to say, saying, "This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her public ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand that the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand they subject themselves to re-education courses of 45 people and an LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe that's just maybe the jig is up." She was certainly, I guess I'd have to give it, definitely throwing out some tools of the whole thing. And certainly everything that was seen when her drama went on of being fired from Lucasfilm, but for her finding out via Twitter that she was let go from Lucasfilm. Just there is one big difference though here. Matt Stone and Trey Parker have not been they are not unused to controversy. They have been through this, and last I knew, they never quite apologized. And in fact, anybody that did come after them, they usually ended up mocking relentlessly in their own show. So either they could, yes, try and go after them, which it wouldn't surprise me with what Gina's saying here, or they might just kind of also let their useful idiots act like Spurgs on Twitter and maybe try and cause damage that way. But again, you're dealing with two people that have already seen enough controversy for a lifetime. So to actually try and get, especially those two, to like any kind of apology would be an interesting thing, unless they really have themselves become that soy infused that they do something like that. But I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. So
we do have breaking news just came across. I don't know if you're ready for this.
Oh,
They say Michael B. Jordan is rumored to be the Disney's front runner for Hercules live action remake.
Oh, I think I saw that floating around. Yeah.
Did you see it? I just saw it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, "Yeah, he's totally Greek."
Right. Red Hoodwink said, "I doubt Disney will do anything to them, but that's if they are smart." You're right. And like I said, I don't
They can't go after them for defamation, can they?
No, because it's parody.
Yeah.
So
well,
I mean, it would certainly, in light of things, wouldn't make them look any better than what they've already been doing to themselves. So, yeah, I would be a little surprised. I mean, I could have sworn I was hearing some things about maybe Disney doing something or being angry, but I think that was more of the response from the different fan groups, and everybody's certainly taking up their own side of it, of the narrative, thinking, oh, they really stuck it to Disney, or oh, they really stuck it to the anti-Disney people. And in reality, it is just, the episode is just that. It's mocking both sides from the very outsider perspective of watching things that have transpired. And then, mainly like there's a subplot, but it seems like more of that subplot is the bigger plot, and that's the fact that basically people don't know how, they aren't handy anymore with like even in-home repairs. It's always about calling somebody, getting a handyman out to fix something for you, and not do your own kind of yard work or cleanup work or whatever. And the way, like, and somehow even AI gets kind of brought up with the whole thing. So it's more to do with like that and then the whole like Cartman Panderverse stuff feels more off to the side. At least it did for me. So that was kind of, to me, the way I took it, was more that commentary on it.
I just think they all suck.
Huh?
I just think they all suck. Kathleen and
well, yeah,
I was wondering when it was going to
happen.
When it was actually going to happen. When they were going to do it, or Simpsons or something.
If there was going to be anybody that was big enough and that would be able to take any kind of barrage from a big company, it would be them, just because they have such a reputation for tackling these things the way they do. And again, generally they don't give a shit about the blowback. And if there is major blowback, they just end up mocking it relentlessly anyways. So
it really protects them from anybody going after them.
Hey, what better, right?
Okay, come after us. Like you'll regret it.
Yeah,
you're gonna get made fun of either way. So
one way or another, it's gonna happen.
Take it on the chin. It's like take it on the chin.
Yep, 100%. So, yeah, I just thought that was certainly a bit of interest, because like Gina was kind of pointing out the extra bits of using certain news outlets, because naming specific ones too is a little is kind of telling right there.
Yeah.
So it's not like yeah, I guess those would be probably the main two, Variety and Hollywood Reporter, but it could have been like, I don't know, naming off of other New York Times or something like that, some other LA Times, whatever, some other big news outlet. But no, yeah, I did think that was a bit of an interesting little.
And you watched it? Do you find it was funny or accurate?
Yeah, I watched the episode. Like it is, they do the whole like, oh, we're gonna mock both sides, and like it comes down to, oh yeah, it's like a response. It's like a response to another response. Because they have the Kathleen Kennedy person saying like, oh yeah, like I've received like 12,000 hate mail responses or whatever, and it was basically all coming from Cartman, and it especially increased after Indiana Jones, because he's like, oh no, it was definitely at least like 12,000, 13,000 or something like that. And then he's like, yeah. And then like she's like, oh yeah, I guess we could do better to not be so lazy and actually maybe put together real stories. And Cartman's like, yeah, I guess it's pretty boring just going after the calling out the woke stuff too. So they had their ways of digging a bit at both sides of the camp. So and like I said, like I felt like the even though it's like the subplot, it felt like more the main plot of people being unable to take care of any handiwork around the house. Because like this like Randy Marsh is trying to just basically get the oven door fixed. And he's like, oh, I'm going to show you kids how it's done. And then he just ends up calling a handyman anyways. And then because everybody in the town doesn't know how to fix anything worth a damn for themselves, it's called the guy's time is really cut up, but he's making a lot of money doing it. But yeah, so it wasn't bad. It was certainly a longer episode than I anticipated, but it got wrapped up really fast. Like I thought this was going to be like a whole season thing. But it's like one long episode. So where they go from here, I don't know.
Well, they can continue to, I guess, make fun of them.
I don't know. They might. We'll see what happens, I guess. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad.
I wonder what finally motivated. Probably Ahsoka.
I don't know. Like sometimes they might plan this stuff in advance. Can't say. Or like last I knew too, they would do it like week by week by week, and the animators were just that fast at doing it. Especially now that they have things computer generated and they can just have all the assets and stuff right in there, and then it's just called, all right, whip up the script, do the voice work, animate it out, and we're done. Gone are the days of the way they used to have to do it, right?
Right.
So yeah,
look at it.
Again, thought it was kind of an interesting little topic.
No, I saw she was trending yesterday or last night. I was like, "What is she trending for?" And I went on. And I was like, "No way! They did a South Park episode." It's like it's about time, man. What a just a silly person.
I know, right? Let's see here. Oh, I had it bookmarked for the Richard Mole thing. Well, I can go maybe start to wrap things up, but go out on this animated trailer here, as even Open Airlock put it when he shared the video out. It's a shill channel, but great trailer. I'd watch it. And that's some praise coming from him.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make sure I have all that done. All right. All right, this is Star Wars Heir to the Empire fan trailer.
That place. Be strong with the dark side of the Force. And you must go.
I do have a because I did watch this already, and it's a good looking trailer, I gotta say.
Nar.
You don't even know who I am.
Is that my wife?
You destroyed my life.
This is where I'm sorry, no. You're making it look like Disney Thrawn. He's got the pupils, he's got the weird forehead ridges. That's the only part where I'm like, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But I mean, otherwise,
She said, "You ruined my life." It's so reminiscent of the book.
That's exactly. I mean, it's meant to be adapting the book, so that's
got
exactly
goosebumps
what's
when
supposed
she
to be
says
going
that.
on.
Yeah, I agree with you, Thrawn. Not a fan, but I mean, if that's the only thing that you can really critique,
Yeah. I mean, they got Mara's look down, so I mean,
because in every part of the book, she's just like basically whipping him, like it's almost like they're actually married.
You're already seeing the early signs.
Signs of marriage.
But
They're
I
not
mean,
even to the honeymoon phase yet.
yeah, I mean, it looks good. It got even Leia with
And this
her.
is a fan. This is a fan.
This is a fan trailer, yeah. But like I said, my only problem is the Thrawn. Everything else is fantastic. It looks great. It looks beautiful. It's a good animation style.
You're talking about his eyes and his forehead.
Yep, he has the pupils. It's not just the pure glowing red eyes. And yeah, these weird like eyebrow bumps
Muscles.
or whatever the hell they're supposed to be.
He's been lifting weights, bro.
The only thing we didn't get to see was we don't see an Isla Mary on his shoulder at all.
Yeah. Or Cybaoth.
Cybaoth was
that
was basically this guy here. We don't see his face.
Yes, because it would appear he's up in the mountain.
Yeah, exactly. And we did get to see part of that here.
The Lambda shuttle.
But I mean, I do gotta say it looks good. I don't know if this person is.
I wonder if he makes a whole movie, if he's gonna charge to obviously like.
Well, let's see. So let's see. So in the description it says Star Wars Heir to the Empire is one of, if not the most popular story of the Star Wars EU. Brought to us by author Timothy Zahn. Myself and others have long dreamed of seeing this story and others from the EU adapted into a visual medium. This trailer was simply made to showcase what could be possible for the future of the EU, otherwise known as Legends. Never acknowledge Legends. That is a dirty name. If you followed my channel at all, you would know that I consistently campaign for Lucasfilm animated Legends timeline in 2D for a fraction of the cost of even the Clone Wars. Lucasfilm could deliver the story of the Skywalkers and Solos from the EU to our screens. The problem is of course, is that you do not necessarily see that would be adapted properly. They would still probably insert their own stuff. But I mean, if they were to somehow like you lock them in and it was called "You are adapting this properly,"
that would be that's gonna be my question. How can he get away with this without having the rights?
So, well, I mean, people make fan films all the time.
Well,
but
this is that they do in the show, and then OG Star Wars got hit for. Remember that one?
Well, that was like a store merch thing, so that was kind of different.
Okay.
And I think that got cleared up anyways.
Well, hold on, because didn't like freaking Star Wars Theory try to adapt something and like you got railroaded by Disney or something?
Yeah, that again was a different situation because the way he was doing funding wasn't necessarily crowdfunding, but is also just taking like he was kind of potentially making money from it in general. It was a weird situation. So yeah, but I mean, this looked really good. I like.
I hope he makes a movie.
It would be great to see more of this. I'm just always. I'm always so iffy on Westerners using the Eastern anime style. Like, to me, I feel like to try and bring back the old art
You
style
need somebody
of
from the east.
to bring back more. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of particular that way, but it's like, yeah, have a different art style instead of biting off of like Japan and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, things are meant to
Where the money
spread.
is, people love
It's
anime.
popular, so.
Not even
'Cause
for
I used
the
to
money,
think of like Batman the animated series and stuff like that, where it had its own art style and it was very Western look. While this you'd tell and go, oh, this is, taking off of Japanese art style. When with ours, we used to kind of lead the way with that. Now it's like, oh, we're now just more copying the other side. So regardless of that, though, I do think this looks.
You do have a heart for the anime, though. I will say that.
I'm just very particular.
It's not a bad.
I mean,
thing.
I did think that the detail on even his lightsaber looks good. And then just seeing this scene was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. Because if you've gone through the book, you know exactly what this is all meaning, or what's going on. Although I don't remember if he was supposed to be seeing her in this outfit, or if he was maybe seeing her in her dancer's outfit that she's supposed to be in, because she's canon.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But seeing then Luke in his dark robes is pretty great. So I like I said, we were just kind of missing seeing the Islamiri, the Nogri. Otherwise,
I want to see the Nogri from like Jedi Academy.
Right. But yeah, it looks good. My one complaint would be Thrawn.
Will be Has there anybody that's been able to get Thrawn correct though?
Yes, there is a YouTuber that's doing the Heir to the Empire, but CG. The Darth and Gelis, and their Thrawn actually looks like proper Thrawn, the way he did on the book covers and in the comics and stuff like that. So yes, there is somebody out there that has done it proper.
Very nice.
Let me see if I can just kind of grab a quick close up of their Thrawn. So yeah. Let me try and get like a more other perspective. Try and wait and see if it gives me a profile. It should in a moment. Come on.
Are they supposed to be golden?
I thought they were more kind of furry and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No pupils.
Yep. As Thrawn was intended. But yeah, other than that the anime looked really cool. Where Hoodwink said, oof, still looks better than the Ahsoka Thrawn. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
LOL, static eyebrow muscles. Yeah. Gotta get those eyebrow scrunches in. And Real Wade Nation Gaming, hey, how's it going? Says, hi, Malgus.
Hello. I guess I was like, Malgus.
Okay, well, I think that was a good way to go out. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We've gone almost 3 hours here. Woo!
Really good show, man. I laughed a lot.
Yep, we had a good time, and I might be clipping some of that stuff out.
You thinking Ahsoka's blue, you silly boy.
I know, right? Real Wade Nation Gaming, thank you for dropping in at the last minute. Red Hoodwink, Static for hanging out this whole time, brother. I appreciate
you guys
it.
are awesome.
Duke Devil, Bradley, as always. Kendon Bronner for jumping in. The first time you got to be in here with this stream. You've been in my gaming streams a lot. Appreciate it, dude. And keep an eye out for Hitman here. He's gonna be getting into some of that gaming streaming too.
Oh,
Keep an eye
yeah.
out
I'm
for him.
buying the bundle after the show.
Yeah, Crimson Raptor. We had Steve and Pinky in here earlier. Thank you very much for hanging out. And we got a sub from that, which is very cool. Fook Norris becoming a normal appearance here. Nerdy Neo, Bro Fett was in. Thank you all so much for hanging out, spending the time with us. I'm glad you guys enjoy watching our show here of us ranting and raving and going into crazy territory sometimes. I know I have fun with it. I know I'm pretty sure I can speak for Hitman. Yeah, he has a blast with it. We both do. It's fun as hell. And we look forward to getting into more. And yeah, we'll possibly be reviewing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie, next week. So that should be fun. I'll actually be watching that now. And yeah,
without
keep an eye out.
the explanation of universes.
Right, exactly. Well, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Wibbly-wobbly.
Tuesday night, I will be doing the gaming stream. It does look like, thanks to Acid Stormblade, he said, even on Twitter here, he said, I have Alien Isolation. Great game. The AI is amazing how it works, especially the harder levels. And that's now it's now neck and neck between Alien Isolation and Evil Within. Amazing. Simply amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. I know I'll be trying to get to doing some other streams. I want to finish up Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I was having a lot of fun with it. So I need to get back to it, play through more. I'm going to be trying to do that as kind of like the weekly thing or the daily game to finish that up. And then Tuesday night, whichever one of these games wins for the night of Halloween. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I should be playing either some Suit Tour or Knights of the Old Republic some more, getting through that.
Did you pin yours thing? Did you pin it?
I did not, but I will pin it now since we're ending the show. I always put, so this is pinned now. I always just pin the show first and then anything else.
There you
afterwards.
go. Love it. Now you're even. All three.
Now,
three-way tie.
So now it's pinned to go. Keep an eye out, folks, for the Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to it. And other gaming stuff that we're doing. I know I'm always lurking around and bugging Melee Games. They're awesome. And if you haven't, head on over to their channel. They're great. Give them a sub as well. I've been hanging out a lot with them, playing games. If you saw, we had the Ghostbusters stream. Me and Melee James, I played for 6 fucking hours of that game. We had Static in there for 3. And then after he kind of eventually left, we had Spartacus in with us playing as well. The Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed game is fun. It's just some stupid fun. Especially then when you get to play as a ghost and be like a little chaos generator. Hilarious stuff. But yeah, so I'm keeping busy. Hitman is starting to dip his toe into that streaming water for gaming. Keep an eye out for him too, folks. You've got to.
The problem is I'm not just talking to myself. If I start doing it, I'm not talking to myself. I'm not crazy.
So where are you streaming it?
Twitch. Well, I gotta. Talk. I'm trying to figure. I would assume Twitch because I want to, and then try to figure out how to upload it to YouTube. But
I'll tell you how you can do that.
Love it. So pumped. But yeah,
right,
I'm definitely going to get that bundle.
Awesome.
And yeah,
I'd love to see you play through those games.
Get my butt kicked. I feel like it's going to take me 6 months to level up on Dark Forces.
Well, and depending on when you do it, if it's when I can jump in.
Is it multiplayer? It needs to be multiplayer, man.
No, not cooperative multiplayer. Combative multiplayer for some of those games, yes. More PvP than actual like PvE. So, but yeah. So yeah, Crimson later says later, guys. Red Hoodwink, thanks for the stream, guys. Really enjoyed this one. Later, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, dude. And yeah, Crimson Raptor, R.I.P. Matthew Perry. But on the more positive, keep an eye out for everything that we're going to be up to. Again, next week, we will be reviewing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We're definitely changing things up from the usual Star Wars thing. Always fun to kind of get into
that. Might be
things.
I might start that tonight. We might start reviewing that tonight. Well, I mean, yeah. So,
all right, folks. With that, thank you very much. You all have a great night. Goodbye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, it put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!